Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. What would you think are the two most common words that Christians use when they're in a panic or in a crisis? Do something. Do something, Lord. It's absolutely against human nature to stand still and do nothing when there's a crisis and there's trouble and difficulty on all hands. And probably the most difficult thing for even Christians is to stand still and wait for God to act. To stand still to see the salvation of the Lord. Even the most devoted of Christians panic when God doesn't move according to their time schedule. We're always giving God dates. We're always giving him a time limit. Lord, if you don't do it by now or by tomorrow or by next week, it's too late. God is never too late, and he's going to do it not on your schedule, not on mine. He's going to do it on his own schedule. But God is always and has always been searching the earth for those who will trust him in their crisis, in every trial, and especially when it seems hopeless. And he will lead us, listen closely, he will lead us into situations that are alarming, that are critical, that seem hopeless, to test us. The devil has nothing to do with it at all. It's God leading into the crisis. The Bible states fairly clearly, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, Psalms 37:23. And that in Hebrew is prearranged, step by step, fixed, ordained by God. I'm going to tell you something. I believe that every step that I take is prearranged by my Father. Every step that I take is ordered by the Lord. Now, if I believe that, if I'm in a crisis, if I'm in a very, very difficult situation, he's led me there. Because he doesn't stop for a moment while he says, well, you're about to go into a trial. I direct you up to this point. You're on your own now. He directs me into it, through it, and out of it. The steps of a good man, and we are good only by the blood of Jesus anyhow. There's no goodness in us. A good man made righteous through the blood of Jesus Christ is
All right. Hopefully, you guys out there can hear me. Otherwise, oh well. That stinks awfully bad. Okay, so far, so good. We'll take this down, lock that in place, open that back up. All right. So here we are. I love this picture of Achilles and I, by the way. Okay. And we will do a share screen. And I'm going to do a shared screen. This is usually easier because Achilles is here, but he's not here right now. So that stinks. But hopefully soon. All right. Got this pulled up. I wanted to share with you good people. I'll make it just a little bit smaller. And we'll give it a play. Okay. So I've got that rolling for the background. You guys can take a peek at what's happening there. Really sad stuff. Now we have some comments. I was hoping someone would talk about this. Yeah, well, we are going to talk about tonight. Anna, thank you for stopping by. Achilles is probably at home. This is pretty near and dear to him, so I'm sure for him it has been an emotionally challenging day for him. And yeah, this is going to be a sad day for the Middle East also. And what do you guys think? Do you think America has just got itself into a war? Let me know. Tell me in the comment section. Hopefully Achilles shows up here soon. Hello, Terry. I don't know why you always call us liberal. We're not even that liberal. Like, I grew up conservative, and I think Achilles is like super independent. So I'm not sure. But Terry, what do you think? Do you think that the United States should have bombed Iran? And do you think this means another 20 years we're going to have to spend in the Middle East? What does this mean for the United States? What does it mean for Israel? And what does it mean for Iran? That's a good question. You guys let me know. Cause of the test we all took. Oh, well, okay, that test was saying that everybody is a liberal. Like, everybody. So I don't think it's that credible. Oh, this would be so much nicer if Achilles would join me. He's the one who believed that we should do this show and all that jazz. There we go. That makes more sense. So you guys haven't been seeing this the whole time. Ah. All right. That's the joke. Well, thank you. Yeah, I know all the channels have been covering this topic today. Terry, you did an episode on this earlier while we were cleaning up our yard and burning some trash, and I listened to big portions of it. And what do you think the consensus on your show with your viewers were? Do they think that we should have bombed Iran? It's just kind of breaking news, and what does this mean for Christians, and what does this mean for our country? So it is about that topic, and you're welcome to join, Christian. I have the link pinned in the chat for you guys. Oh, man. So I'm 36, and we went to war in 2001, and we were there for 22 years. The majority of my life has been spent at war, like in wartime. And I'm really scared of having another 21-year war that we can't afford. I'm hoping it doesn't turn into that, another Iraq situation. Everybody was mixed in their opinions for you? Yeah. One thing I'm happy about, I haven't seen a lot of Christians out celebrating that we have bombed Iran. Whether you think it's the right thing to do or not is a different discussion, but I've been very pleased to not see anyone out there like celebrating that it happened. So that's good. Let's see, maybe I can do some background music. I'll put on something. Here we go. And I'll loop it. And I'll turn it down. It'll add some drama to the show. Alright. Now everything I sounds more poetic. Can you guys hear the music in the background? First thing you did was pray? Yeah, Yeah, that's the right heart position, Terry. What about Jamie? Do you and Jamie agree um on our current actions? And if so, that's good. If not, what does that look like for you guys? And I imagine that there are going to be a ton of protests in Portland here very soon that now you and Jamie can go capture live for us. Oh, man. I had a whole presentation ready. It was like a whole 3-point sermon, pretty much, the equivalent to, on Balaam and Moses and their engagement with each other. But this is important, and it needs to be covered. You don't think either of you guys knows what to think? Yeah. It's a big step. It's a big step bombing Iran. And I don't know, do you guys feel in this moment any safer than you had before? Like, I wonder how vulnerable this has possibly made us. You know, the aftermath of it hasn't come out yet. I'm worried too, Terry. Which I know as believers we're not supposed to worry, and this is probably exactly the means of history leading up to the book of Revelation. But it's a scary time in history to live right now. Probably the scariest any generation has lived in before. That's the scary thing. Man. So, major combat operations in Iran. And have you guys just gone to the news? Like, I'd never advise people to go to the news, but, and the Supreme Leader is dead. What did you guys think of that? What does that mean? Do you think they're just going to install a new Supreme Leader? Yeah, from what I hear, it's been a lot of innocent people so far, Terry. That's kind of the heartbreaking part. Well, and apparently there's a lot of protesting going on right now, and the citizens are very grateful that it's happened. Yeah, Christian. That's an excellent point. They'll say peace, and peace won't be there to be found. Oh, brother. Big Bad Mom. You're welcome to come join and talk about this if you'd like. He says an Israeli strike has hit an elementary girls' school in Minadab, a city in Hormozgan, province of southern Iran, killing 108 people. Man, that is heartbreaking. I hate hearing that. Yeah, Terry, that's what they always say, though. Yeah. I mean, I am wondering... So President Trump campaigned on no new wars. Especially in 2016, he hit it a lot harder. The Board of Peace just started their first war. Yeah. Yeah, pretty sad. Sad times we're living in. Oh, that's why you guys can't put your trust in the government. And you can't put it in politicians because ultimately they are all corrupt. All of them. And they don't care if we get in war. And most of the time, it's not their sons and daughters that go over and fight these wars. You know, they're just chess pieces, really. At least in 2001, 2002, when my brother was in the Marine Corps and he got sent to Iraq, that's how it felt to us. It felt like he was just a pawn on a chessboard. And he wasn't Edward Wallace Boland, my brother, anymore. You know, and none of the politicians were over there. They'd fly in overnight, take a couple pictures of a zone that was probably miles and miles and miles away from where they claimed it was. so that they weren't in immediate danger. And then they fly home and they vote for more conflict. And that's the sad part. And we rarely take into account the death toll like we're seeing here. Miss Terry, welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I am okay.
How does this have you feeling?
Worried?
It is concerning. What do you think the result's going to be? Do you think we're going to get bombed back?
No,
Well, thank God for that.
I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about the people that are there.
In Iran, the Iranians?
Yeah, and also like I know they bombed a US naval base
Mm-hmm.
and that killed a bunch of people. So I'm worried about those people.
It's escalating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Iran is going to be much match for us, and I think that they were weak. They've been unstable for a while, and they saw an opportunity to like go in there and take over, so they have.
So I agree with you on the status of Iran. However, what does scare me is that they are very close allies with both Russia and China. So any retaliation most likely is not going to come from just Iran, but likely from China and Russia. That's my concern.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to mess with us.
You don't think that we look a little vulnerable as stretched out as we are right now?
I think we can take Russia and China if we have to.
Along with Iran?
Yeah.
Which of our allies do you think would jump in and support us? Obviously, Israel.
I don't think it's even about that. I just think we have more weapons of mass destruction. So if they want to even try something, then we'll like retaliate tenfold, and they don't want that smoke.
Yeah, Russia
Like
has
if they actually attacked the U.S. ground, like it would be over. So I think it's going to be more proxy wars and people dying in our allied countries and just misery.
Russia has this death switch capability to where if their system detects a strike, a nuclear strike, and there's no
Mhm.
response from certain state level leaders at a particular time, it automatically initiates the release of tons of nuclear warheads all around the world. So basically, we're just waiting for the first nation to blink. Everyone's going to release their arsenal, and I don't think we'll survive.
Yeah, I don't think that it's going to come to that. I think that's the whole thing that, but
Yeah. So Jamie's kind of in disbelief also?
yeah, we haven't really talked about our exact opinions about it. I think we're both just kind of shocked and like unsure what to think.
Man.
So
Yeah?
obviously, I'm not a war hawk. I don't like war or mayhem or interfering with other nations, but I'm also like, not leader of a country, so or military. I'm
And it's
best.
it's interesting because in like the last 2 months we have bombed a nation's leader. He's dead,
Mhm.
and we have also abducted another nation's leader. And I'm just hoping that the world doesn't see it as an opportunity to try to abduct our leaders or bomb their.
I don't think anyone's going to do that to us.
Well, I mean, do you think it's something different now than it was like on 9/11?
What do you mean?
Well, we were attacked then. And I mean, I do believe it was an inside job, but I believe it was an inside job in the way that they got the intel and knew it was coming and allowed it to happen.
Hmm. I'm not so worried about our leaders getting abducted, and even if they were, I don't know that I would. I guess it would depend on who it was, you know.
Oh man. Like, oh no, you took Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi?
Please, you can
Well,
have them.
we can't negotiate with terrorists. You'll have to keep them.
Yes.
Now, if we wanted to destroy Iran, that's how we should have done it. We should have sent some of our liberal politicians over there to help them.
Yeah.
That would have destroyed the whole region in just 10 years.
I don't know. There's been a lot of internal conflict in Iran, so I think they're just striking when the iron's hot, basically. They see an opportunity to go in when the country's not stable and to take over more easily than they would have at another time. But this has been building like my whole life. They've always been talking about war with Iran. There's always been a kind of like, you know, tension between the two nations. So I guess I've expected it would happen at some point.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, you're right. All of my life, ever since I was a young child, I remember hearing about China, Russia, and Iran.
Yeah.
Yep, so you're right. They've been planning this for a long time. Big Bad Mama says a nation that can fund a war instantly but debates funding healthcare has value problems, not a budget problem. BBM, I think we have both. I think we have a value deficit and a fiscal deficit. Well, do you think the world has changed forever as we know it?
Probably not.
You think life will continue on the same for us here?
Yeah, it might even get better. I mean, what's better for the economy than more?
I wonder if that played any part in this decision making.
Probably. I mean, war makes money like nothing else.
That's true. And it does seem like our go-to every time we reach economic collapse. We're like, you know what? There's got to be somebody we could go to war with.
Who needs a little democracy this week? let's give them a little democracy over here.
Just once, I wish if we were going to invade sovereign nations willy-nilly, we would invade France.
Oh, jeez.
Like, we don't want it. We'll give it right back, you know? It's just to say that we did it.
I don't know. France is an interesting one. Very interesting country.
What makes you say that?
They just well, they have a bit of an antagonistic relationship to the U.S. a bit. They are very just naturally kind of left wing in a lot of ways. There's a lot of French intelligence that influences the American like communist movement. They also seem to be like another country in Europe that's kind of losing their national identity through mass immigration. So, yeah, all those things.
What are you doing?
I'm talking to Stephen about the war in Iran.
Yeah, thanks a lot for getting us in war, Jamie.
I did. It was all I did. I was me.
We forgive you, but next time, if you could just consult with us.
Yeah, I gotta go to the
Yeah, you
bathroom.
didn't even ask the Proverbs guys if it was okay.
Oh, damn. Well, I go to the bathroom. We'll be right back.
Okay, babe.
Yeah, it's weird how shortly after releasing the information about Jamie being in the Epstein files, now, after my whole lifetime, we bomb Iran.
Yeah, I did call Trump on Friday night on the preparation day before the Sabbath drew on that I think we ought to go ahead and buckle down with Bibi.
We need to make this relationship more official. So, anybody have the details on the girls' school that was bombed? Like, was it an accident? Was it intentional?
I don't think they intentionally bombed a school, girls' school, but obviously it's pretty awful.
These are terrifying times. You're lucky that you're a girl, because I'm probably gonna get drafted.
Not in the first couple of rounds.
Thank God I'm 36 and I'm overweight.
Yeah.
They don't want me weighing down the airplane.
No, they'll look for someone much younger to throw away first.
Right, yeah, 18-year-olds.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. Wow. It's sad how devalued we've made life, like human life.
I don't think this is anything new, though. I think it's always been this way.
Yeah, yeah, except I think the technology has made it more widespread. Like you can drop one bomb and kill thousands and thousands and thousands of people in 5 minutes, and that used to take a day and a half of battling in even
Mm,
medieval times.
definitely, it's accelerated, but
Do you
I think
think
about
if
like World War I and World War II and how insane those times were for the people living.
do you think if we never instituted, not instituted, but if like murder hadn't have developed and war had never started, like we
Hmm.
had never fought a war, never lost a person to war, do you think we would be overpopulated today?
I don't.
No, no, I don't think so.
I've heard the claim that this is all population control.
Well, I mean, the elites do want to reduce the population. That's very clear, and they don't think that. I mean, it makes. I think that yeah, there's definitely an agenda to depopulate certain nations.
Let's be honest. Overpopulation is a myth.
I don't believe in overpopulation at all. No, the Earth has more than enough to provide for everyone's needs.
Well, I agree. I think it was designed to run out of resources exactly when he plans on returning.
Maybe I don't think we're going to run out of resources, though. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, no, I think we will observe like the reduction in fresh water intake, for instance, but
Mhm.
I don't think we'll ever live through suffering through great famine because the earth doesn't have enough resources. I think once we start experiencing that loss of the resources, then God will probably be returning. But I get that theology from Big Bad Mama. I'm not sure if you
Okay.
count it faithful. Mm-mm. So, what kind of points were brought up on your guys' show?
Well, so a lot of people are worried about not. They're worried about not letting Islamists have power. So, like, they see it striking against Iran as a blow to like Iran, which helps fund a lot of these different nations and their proxy wars against Israel. Um, so there's some of that. A lot of people, I mean, I think everybody had kind of like mixed feelings about it, honestly. In the chat, where like some people were very, you know, unhappy with it, which I think is fine. Um, when we run out of coffee, the end shall come. Jeez. There has been a coffee shortage. The price of coffee has been like going up the past couple of years because there was several droughts and blights impacting coffee. Sorry, what were we talking about? You asked about like what people
What the consensus was, but it sounds like
no
you,
consensus.
Yeah, it sounds like it's too early for anybody to know what they think yet.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie woke me up like early last night and told me about it. I was like, what the? So I like, just started praying and then fell back asleep.
Yeah, have you ever tripped and fell? And like when you're about to get up off the floor, you kind of take that second and in your mind you run through like, okay, what on my body hurts? Sort of taking
Yeah,
inventory, like what is okay, what's not. I feel like that's where America is at right now.
that's a good way of putting it.
And the thing is if they had just wrote me in for president in the last election, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
That's true.
Yeah, I would be way too busy to run Proverbs, guys. You look so mad.
Me?
Why are you mad, bro?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not mad.
Okay.
Just thinking.
Did you guys go out in town today?
A little bit. We went to the little cafe around the corner that we've never been to. It was really cold this morning. I mean, not really cold, but it was around 35 degrees. And there was a little bit of a wind. I didn't have my gloves. So it was only about 4 blocks away. And we hung out there for a bit. I worked on this little scrunchie I was making here. And then what else happened? Then, yeah, we had our little coffee and our little items. And then we came back. Jamie's been out a little bit more than me. So that was my get out. I've been filming a little bit of the riffraff outside today. There's been some people that have camped out across the street, so getting some good footage of them passed out on drugs.
On a bright note, it is Braana's birthday.
Nice.
Have the riots started yet?
The riots?
Yeah, well, there's going to be riots over this.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't looked yet. I'm sure there's going to be something. I wouldn't be surprised if something doesn't pop off tomorrow. So I'll probably see if anything's happening downtown. There'll probably be a big rally in the next week, though.
You guys have got to go down there for that.
Oh, hi, Christian Pike.
Hello, how are you?
Pastor Pike, what are your thoughts on this business? Are you a little bit nervous?
I think anyone would be nervous. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm expecting the worst at all times. So it's sort of day by day. I just expect things to get worse and worse, like a true optimist.
Yeah, that's fair. What I'm thinking is the end of times has got to be around the corner, and depending on how you believe in theology, we should be experiencing the book of Revelation awfully soon. And this would explain how we get from here to there quickly.
I have my eyes on somebody.
For Antichrist?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Don't care to share?
Yeah, I'll share. I'm not making a prediction or anything.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
For the first time in history, someone has caught my attention, which is Jared Kushner.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, I'm hooked.
For the Kirsch.
You've got to explain the reasons.
Well, in the book of Daniel, Daniel very selectively uses God, where the English translators translated it capital and lowercase and intentionally. And so as you read through Daniel, you'll notice that they use that word, depending on its capitalization, intentionally. And when it's speaking of him, it says that he would have no regard for the God of his fathers. And that word God is capitalized. And so it's sort of saying that he's going to be Jewish, in my understanding, that the God of his fathers is the true God of Israel. And so I think that it is identifying him as a Jew. There's a lot of other criteria that have to be met. Obviously, I'm sure you guys are familiar with some of them. I mean, one of them is that he has to make craft to prosper. One of them is the false sense of security with the peace deal that he makes with Israel. One of them is that he's not deterred by the desire for women. There's a number of things that are said about him, but I just feel like if there's anybody in the world today that checks the most possible boxes without, in my opinion, obviously disqualifying themselves, because it has to be very stringent, and without disqualifying themselves, I have my eyes fixed on Jared Kushner. Even you're muted.
Yeah, that would be interesting, man, for sure. And
I'm not saying it's him. I feel like that he's been involved in so many of those deals. He's Jewish. He's faithfully and happily married. He's involved in economic deals. I mean, there's so many boxes that he checks. And there's another thing that seems almost silly. His address in New York literally was 666 at one time, which I didn't even know until after I had developed this theory.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, in some of the earliest manuscripts, the number is
Aiden's voting
actually
on Bruce.
616.
Aiden says it might be Bruce, so I think we're good if Bruce is the
I
answer.
don't think it's Bruce.
No, the Bible says that the Antichrist is going to be really well received. He's going to be popular.
I mean, if it's Bruce, we're good. You know what I mean? These times won't be ending no time soon.
So yeah, Book of Revelation is lining up pretty quickly, and I don't think we can slow it down. I used to think we had 100 years or more, but now I'm thinking maybe 30.
Oh,
is it Brianna's birthday? Happy birthday, Brianna.
I think that so I'm pro-Israel, but it has nothing to do with the Bible. I don't think any of this has to do with. I honestly don't think any of this has anything to do with what the Bible predicts. So
Are you a preterist?
no,
Or you just don't think this is related to Revelation whatsoever?
right?
Okay.
Because I don't. I think the language about the surrounding countries that oppose Israel should be interpreted now as a more cosmic picture of the forces of evil against God's ways. And so I think that's the sort of interpretive framework that the New Testament gives us when they use Old Testament imagery. And so, I mean, it's a general trend, like wars and rumors of wars, but I don't think the fact that it's Iran matters at all. That's my view. So
Why, if you don't mind me asking, just from a political perspective, what causes you to be so generally supportive of Israel?
I think democracy is preferred.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly agree with that statement.
And so I think Israel is a proper ally against forces of evil in the Middle East.
When you say evil, you mean authoritarianism?
Yeah, or sort of any sort of theocracy sort of thing. Even if you want to say they're not a theocracy, I mean, these Muslim countries, I think they oppose just natural the way God would want it. That's why I support America regarding
I have a
religious
question
freedom.
for you on this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a statement of my own. I'm just picking your brain.
Okay. No, it's
I'm sure that you know, America has a very formal system of declaring war, and we didn't do that this time. And so they'll use terminology similar to how Russia used in Ukraine, where it's a special operation, but they eliminated the leader of the country, so it's feeling a lot like a war.
right. Yeah, so I don't know.
Fine.
So my view is that we should go through the proper channels through Congress or whatever, or however that works. But so I would say, depending on what they do forward, I think they should follow that rule. And so I just don't know enough.
Would you agree that what we've
I
done
generally
is
think
a
the idea.
declaration of war?
Yeah, I think we should follow proper channels, and depending on how we see it go from here, I would lean that they're not doing it properly. But at the same time, generally, do I think it makes sense to go against Iran? Probably, but I'll have to wait and see. That's my view.
I mean, I think that anybody with half a brain is against the government of Iran. I mean, that's not really the question. It's
Right.
do we feel that the U.S. had enough justification to hastily move forward with this without congressional approval? Because I imagine there are some situations where it would be justified.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So I just don't know.
I don't like the authority they gave the president to wage war for 90 days. And he can wage war even longer than that if he uses the Marine Corps, because the Marine Corps belongs specifically to the president. I don't like it. I hate that we ever gave the president, any president, that kind of authority. It should always have to go through Congress. But I'm still confused how he's doing it because I believe the clause for a president to be able to wage war for 30 days or 90 days without consulting Congress is that we had to be in some sort of immediate threat. But it doesn't seem like at face value that we've been at any more threat than the rest of my lifetime.
Even there's weapons of mass destruction over there right now, son. We got to get those things.
Oh my Lanta. Well, if I can have your attention for just a moment.
I have a breach to sell you.
Oh no, our president's here.
He's in his greenhouse.
The greenhouse.
Smile. Your country suits you. Nice. That's huge. We can't hear you.
Dan, you did awesome in that debate, man.
I can't hear Dan.
I didn't even know Dan did debates till last night.
That was
First.
Dan's first debate.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
no.
What in the cuss word is going on around here?
And that was only him. I was going to do just a conversation like Rick was going to do. And of course, Steven's like, a debate. Let's do a debate. He just wanted to be a overseer of debate.
Well, look, next week we're having an open panel on the Trinity. It's the nature of God / the Trinity. And he's going to be coming back and bringing his friend who is also LDS. So anyone who's not a Trinitarian can feel free to come onto that panel and take sides with them.
I feel like that's just me that you're talking to.
I'm not saying anything to anyone specifically, but the offer is out there for anybody who
It's like, if you happen to be a Mormon, please show up that day.
It's just we didn't specifically design it to where you would have to publicly ally with a couple of Mormons, but it worked out that way
It's pretty
terrifically.
designed, for my
We could maybe get.
Well, I mean, the doctrine of the Trinity, you can use the early church fathers to show it wasn't developed. Depends what your focus is. I'm so sick of that debate. Like I'm a Trinitarian, I guess, but simply because I think Jesus and the Father are different persons, and the New Testament uses the Holy Spirit as personal pronouns, etc. And so I'm just like, well, I have like, so my sort of view is like, if you have this view that's like the Spirit is like the Spirit of the Father and the Son, and so like there's the Spirit and the Father, and it's their Spirit. And then to me, I'm like, I get why people would see it that way. Then if you that sort of unifies them or whatever, it's not really wrong. And so like, I don't know that God's going to damn people for not getting that right or however that works. I think that's kind of silly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a deep, mysterious thing. I mean, it's the kind of thing that we study for years and years. And I'm kind of like you. I can't imagine that a person's comprehension of the mystery of godliness is going to affect their eternal salvation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other things the Bible tells people they must do that they don't. And they think because they affirm this doctrine of the Trinity that means they're true Christians, and they could give a damn less if they follow any of the teachings of Jesus. When it's not even a clear-cut doctrine in the scriptures. Like, I hold it for the views I mentioned. I could go into it more. But I think if you don't agree with that God's going to like damn you for that. I mean, I don't know where people get that from. I think the problem with not affirming certain texts about who Jesus is in relationship to the Father and their unity, that's where the problems come in historically, and why I think they defended the Trinity so, because of the things where people denied the divinity of Jesus, etc., what that led to, what was connected to that. But that's not really the case today with a lot of people. Most of the people who are Unitarian follow Jesus, vehemently. I mean, I may have disagreements with them about certain things, but like, there's way more people that affirm the Trinity that don't follow Jesus at all, and they teach that it doesn't matter if you do. So if I'm honest, like at the end of the day, how God's going to look at that, I'm just like, I'm sick of talking about this.
It's definitely a subject that becomes frustrating. I mean, I have strong views on it. Obviously, I think everybody knows that, and I try to be a diligent teacher on the things that I believe and to justify them in Scripture. But I'm kind of like you to the extent that a person can just sincerely love the Lord and just understand Him the best they know how. And I can't imagine that He would reject them for not having this deep theological, mysterious knowledge,
That's my point. Yeah. I mean, I
Hey,
think it
brother
matters.
Steven, can you
Yes,
do me a
sir.
small favor? Can you
That
highlight
depends.
my earlier comments?
Let me see if I can locate that sucker. This one? Or
No.
this
For
one?
President Dan.
Yep, that one. Can you read
That's a
that
very
out for
good
me?
comment.
Yes, so I will read this as if
Shut
I
up.
were Batman. I'm only pro Jesus. Jesus is my president. Hashtag make the world great again. Shout out to the Garden of Eden. The good old days.
I also shout out to the Garden.
Thank you, sir.
Very good. By the way, I need a Catholic or an Orthodox. I'm going to try to put together a debate between a Catholic, Richard from the LDS Church, and Bruce. And the debate will be who has the true church. And it'll kind of be like watching Groundhog Day because all three of the opponents will be using the same scriptures to point to the validity of their churches.
I'll be the Catholic.
Can I ask? You know what? The president is here. President Dan. I would like to submit for consideration a theological royal rumble.
Mm.
Right? We will have a Catholic, a Orthodox, a Picatarian, an SDA, a non-denominational, and a good old Baptist. What are your
Okay.
thoughts, sir?
But one stipulation, the only people who can participate in the debate have to take communion with us, led by Brother Pike.
That's gonna mess up the field big time.
It's gotta be strawberry wine. And we're gonna play that song, Strawberry Wine.
Strawberry wine. Yeah, man, bring all the Catholics you want. They ain't gonna debate that night. Ain't gonna happen.
Now you guys will be singing Strawberry Wine for the next 3 days. You're welcome.
Well, don't tell Tammy it's our fault.
It is your fault.
No, because I've already had that Cranberry song Dreams stuck in my head for like 2 weeks now.
Members are so
Man.
top tier band.
Dan, let's get your say on what's happening. Were you shocked to find out that the USA and Israel had bombed Iran? And what do you think this means for America?
I was totally shocked because I heard it from somebody out of the Philippines, worried that it was the end of the world, and so I've been really good. I didn't even know it happened until like 2 days later, I think, and to me it's yawn.
It happened last night.
That was the night before. When did I see that then?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Must have been the other bombing of the other Iran.
Well,
Right.
2 days ago, they started releasing statements saying all Americans need to flee Israel, and they had planes running all night. And then the next day, we bombed them.
Well, see,
And-
Philippines is 1 day ahead, so they would have known that 1 day ahead.
That's how time works, Dan.
That makes sense.
But the fact of the matter is that Terry
Okay, well, I
allowed
didn't
this
know
to
it.
happen.
I mean,
She did. Anybody
I
that
have
can
to let
survive
things
in
happen,
Washington,
you know.
anybody that can survive in Washington, you got to have superpowers. No, I just think,
I live
for
in
me,
Oregon.
the what?
What?
I live in Oregon.
Portland,
Thanks so
Oregon.
I'm
Most
not
of us
cut
can
out to live in Washington.
Practically, we're so close.
Oh, they're both kook places.
It's the same as Sodom and Gomorrah, like they're sister cities.
Well, it has to be.
Damn, bro.
Look
Look at Terry's face.
The triplet. No, there's good people even in San Francisco.
Look, the devil might have gone down to Georgia, but he came from Portland, Oregon.
I might have.
No,
Seattle, Washington.
Seattle's not doing too good either. It's really sad.
Robin, were
Oh,
you
isn't
were you
amazing?
concerned to see the latest news?
Well, first of all, I've been watching him move like all of our battleships and aircraft carriers and stuff over there for the last 2 weeks. So,
That was just convenient timing.
but I want to say that, like, when I found out that Ayatollah was dead, I thought about all of those American hostages that were spent a year being tortured at the end of Carter's term. That were not released until after the election, and Reagan got them, and so I'm glad that that man's gone. Actually, after what he did to all those people,
That's a good take.
Hmm.
So
No,
because
and that's the thing is,
Yeah,
that was when I was a child, and that was a big deal. I mean, that was like when I was a kid, that was happening, and those people were like they would prance them up on like on, they would put them on TV, and they would have these things on their head where they couldn't see your face, and they would have them all tied up and stuff, and they would drag them around and stuff in front of everybody, and they would do that all the time on the news and stuff, and they starved them and tortured them and everything else. And they were all Americans. They were just people that were left in the embassy that didn't get out.
God.
Yeah, like probably some of y'all are not even old enough to remember that, but I
No,
think
I've
Are,
heard about it,
are
but
these the hostages that were released at the end of Jimmy Carter's term as Reagan was coming into office?
Ronald
they
Reagan.
were released like an hour after Reagan took his oath.
Mm,
They did not. They were not released until Reagan was sworn in.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
that's
was
why I think because they've been they're a fanatic Muslim government. The country's not all that, but no, and they've been death to America. They take serious the thing that Muhammad wanted to take over the planet for Allah, and
yeah, I mean,
some of the Muslim countries are like whatever, but they've been saying death to America because we are the great Satan in the way of getting
yeah,
Muhammad's.
like like there's a whole lot more to it. Like at the time, we were like the Shah before Ayatollah came in. The Shah was running Iran, okay, and the Shah was our person that we stuck in there. The United States put the Shah in. The people didn't, and there was never any like happy. And he was very corrupt. He stole
Mhm.
from the Iranian people, the government, everything, and he had all these lavish parties and all this stuff. And Khomeini was the whole time was like in exile in France, is where he was, and he was a very pious person. I mean, he was, and he wrote all his pious writings and everything. And they just saw the Shah as like a just a wing of Americanism, and we were over there taking the oil and um, yeah, and we were letting the Shaw just kind of just like do all the corruption because he was our man and we were backing him. And we had a chance, actually. Carter had a chance before Khomeini came back from France and came back into Iran. He could have went and met with Khomeini, and he wouldn't do it and he was advised to because everybody kind of knew that there was a good chance that probably the Shaw was going to get deposed. He was going to have to flee but he didn't do it. Carter didn't do it. He stuck by his man, and like you can't put somebody leading the country that the people don't even want to follow. Like I mean, like we just can't go in there and anoint somebody president or leader of a country that they don't want to
We
follow.
pretty much did that with Dan here at Proverbs, guys.
Yeah, we do that.
We didn't hold an
Y'all picked
election or
him.
anything.
Y'all picked him though. Like you picked him.
I like to think that he picked us
No,
because no one else at the time would.
Well, because you were not acting very presidential at the time. I remember that, Stephen. Like, isn't that right, Dan?
I say nothing. I want to keep. I don't want my wife to keep having to taste my food all the time.
I'm sure if Claude Balls was here right now, he would tell you that I've always conducted myself as a gentleman and a scholar. Right, Claude?
A complete scholar, and occasional gentleman. Just like Claude.
Oh, Claude.
Claude, what's your European thoughts on this conflict?
Well, it's very nuanced. It's one that I'm not going to come down on one side or the other because, I can see the reasons why, I can see the reasons against, and what I thought was terrible a few weeks ago, a lot of the Iranian people rose up because they thought they were going to get some backing, and they were slaughtered in the thousands.
10,000.
Absolutely.
Like 10,000.
Yeah, in thousands. and nothing was done. And it does remind me of what happened in other wars as well, where people think they're going to be the forces of somehow that are, I won't say of good, but better than their existing forces, are going to help them. And of course, they're left, you know, holding the baby. Yeah. So but at the same time, you know, America recently has gone to Venezuela. What's happened there? You know, how are they going to manage all this stuff, and how is it going to end up? And if it ends up with just an opportunist, similar person, a dictator getting in, then it's all been for nothing. So
Very oily situation.
Or
tricky one.
or they
That's
let
why I'm a
ISIS,
fence sitter, you know.
Yeah. or if they let ISIS come in and take over.
Yeah, anything,
Like
the
that.
law of unintended consequences. I mean, there's so many moral questions as well. So I just can't make up my mind, and I think it's too nuanced for me to say America great, Iran bad, or the other way around.
I do say good riddance, Khomeini.
Yeah.
Claude's making too much sense. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, question for all of you guys. You can each answer. If you had to choose, like, boom, boom, stick to head, you had to pick. Would you have rather the United States had forcibly annexed Greenland or helped bomb Iran?
Bomb Iran.
Neither.
I mean, like, no, we have no business messing with Greenland.
Okay, hot take. Okay, hot take. I would like to go to Greenland without a passport, personally.
I agree on that.
Why would you want to go to Greenland?
It's like all green.
Your dog. It's not green. It's covered with
It
snow.
is. Were they lying?
That's yes, they lied.
Actually,
Like,
yes.
I
Like,
feel like you should shut up now.
yeah, the Viking lied about it to get people to move there, so he
Isn't
called
there,
it
like,
Greenland.
mysteries
It's
there or
covered.
whatever?
It's
Like ice
covered with
pyramids
like
and aliens.
it's covered with like feet and feet and feet of ice.
Isn't that where the thing took place? Isn't it?
You have to do like a bobsled to get around the place, like on
Like
the
on
top.
the thing.
Greenland is icy and Iceland is green, bro.
That
Yeah.
don't seem right.
Iceland
It
is
is, though.
Eric the Red lied. Eric the Red lied about him.
Like you can't trust
A politician lied. Oh my gosh.
Eric
Breaking news.
Red could hardly
I
become
read
a
about
poli-
that on the internet, guys.
I would
I
say
mean-
Eric Red was not really a politician. I don't think.
One thing is sure, it's the ordinary people at the bottom of the heap are going to suffer in all this, and the power brokers at the top of all these regimes are the ones that get off scot-free. You know?
Like they don't. The people of Greenland don't want us. They have health.
Oh, sorry, the
That's never
Green.
stopped us
Robin,
before.
no nation wants us. You know,
Yeah,
that's
they
why
just
we have to force our democracy on
They're
them.
like,
It's
well,
so
you don't
appeasing.
take our health care away from us. That's what
They'll
they're
just want to come here. We can move all them that don't want to. We can put them back in Europe. It's closer
Yeah.
to the America.
But I have an even hotter take that is more
Oh,
important.
look! Here's what.
Most of the population of Greenland is Inuit. They're not Danish.
It doesn't
United-
matter what they are. I mean, it's still their land.
The United States is like a drunken husband that comes home smelling like whiskey, and all the other nations who don't want anything to do with us is like the wife who has a stomach ache, and we're like, no, we will be together this day.
Don't come home drinking with loving on your
Live on
mind.
your mind.
There you go.
Democracy.
Terry
Yeah,
knows
you-
her red
I know my music.
She knows
You
her
know,
red.
I just want
Can
to
we
say
answer that
I blame
question?
the Greeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
also
want to go to like all the American territories, Guam, all those guys. Hey, I don't want you guys either. I don't want Greenland, Iceland. Just stay over there.
don't give up Guam. We've been having Guam for a long time.
Dan, you're just saying that because you're hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not thinking.
I'd rather annex Greenland than bomb Iran.
We don't have any business annexing Greenland. That's not our
Let's shelf
right.
it, okay? Let's shelf the
All right.
Greenland thing. We'll come back to it when we're thinking.
He was
straight.
asked like what our preference was.
All right, so if we're all going with bomb Iran over annex Greenland,
I'm not going
can
with
we
that.
at least
I'm
agree
not
that we
going
should
with
try
that.
to not bomb schools, like all girls schools?
I agree with that.
I'm team
But
annex.
is it okay if it's boys?
Was that Ayatollah hiding in an all-girls school?
I
I'm
mean,
sure it was an unintended consequence. I don't think they intended to bomb that school.
I do know one thing about the Iranian government is they will send civilians to locations where they have their generals and stuff meeting. Like that's part of their tactic to try to prevent us from bombing them.
Did
But that still
did we
makes it
bomb?
wrong.
Did we bomb? Who killed Ayatollah? I haven't even watched it. Did Israel bomb them too, or did we just like? I know it was like a joint effort, but I didn't know how much joint was involved in that.
Or smoking joints, Robin.
It wasn't America or Israel that killed him. It was the explosion from the bomb.
Yeah,
Funny
guns
guy.
don't kill people with bullets, do.
That's true, technically.
Oh my goodness,
No guns.
Really,
It would be nice to go there without a passport, though,
that
for
was
real.
such a lazy answer. Like,
What?
yeah.
I'm just trying to be real, okay? I
Well, we're
won't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can even give Hawaii back to whoever they want to be because man, that's a sink of
It's
money
a
too.
state. It's a state.
Oh, we can
Yeah,
still
the
unstate
51st
them.
one.
It's a state. It's a state.
At
Daniel.
the rate of the Union, I wouldn't mind going back to like the original 15 and let the rest just figure it out.
Does Georgia qualify on that?
Yeah, y'all are part
Yes,
of the OG.
Georgia was a prison, like a prison.
Ain't much changed, Robin.
Christian, it's pretty much the East Coast.
Started at
Like,
the bottom, and we're still down here.
But yeah, Georgia was a prison, like a prison, like it was settled by a bunch of prisoners at first, like
That makes sense.
I'm
Yeah.
actually willing to work
like
out.
Australia.
I'm willing to work out a deal with Canada to where they can acquire most of the northern states that border them. We don't want anything in return. I just really want them to take New York.
I'm going too. I'm moving to New York. Then I go to Canada.
You want
I
to go
know
I
in
do want them to take
know it.
New York.
for aid?
We're not going to dip all the way down into Kentucky for me.
I don't think we should give Canada New York.
You really don't think
Dude,
so?
you know
don't
how much
know.
milk New York produces for the
I
United
have
States?
This is in New
there.
York.
I got family there. I don't want them having to deal with the Canadians.
Yeah, but like he has no idea. Like you don't even know what those people, like everything, all kinds of stuff is up there. Yeah.
Yeah, my older brother lives there. I got family all around.
What in the world's that?
Can we agree on a border wall? Does everybody agree that we need a border
In
wall?
Canada and America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Twice the size as the one on the
Yeah,
Mexican
to
border.
keep Americans from sneaking into Canada it's a wonder because Canadians don't sneak in here.
Well, that's
Well,
because
yes,
we
they
have
do. They
boom
walk
boom
amongst
sticks.
us. They look just like us.
Yeah, they
Like
probably
what?
They don't want it. I mean, like they come. They used to come visit us, and then we like put all the tariffs and stuff on, and they even quit doing that. They don't even come to Florida now.
Look,
Oh,
they
see-
don't want to break into here because we'll invade them back. But
They'll-
like, if we went there illegally, they would probably just apologize for inconveniencing us.
No, they won't let it. You're not allowed in. You have to go through a background check and everything to get in there because they don't like. You have to go. Yeah.
Well, you know what? If that's how they're gonna be when we're done with Greenland, we're going after Canada.
They're very
I
strict.
saw a video of a lady who said she's fleeing the U.S. and she went to Canada and she was complaining about how she can't find housing and stuff and how expensive it is. And she was asking Canadians to give her a free, like 1 or 2 bedroom apartment for her dogs and her cat and her lesbian lover. I was like, this is insane.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's
I
what
know.
I do.
She's like, I fled the U.S. I'm like, you
She went the wrong way. She
you
wanted
don't
to
leave
have money.
the U.S. This is one of the best places to live. People don't flee here.
If you leave the United States and you don't have money, you should go south, not north.
Why does
Well,
a
that-
cat need an apartment?
Huh?
Why does a cat need an apartment? I think I missed it.
No. They brought their cat and dog with them to Canada when they fled the U.S.
Oh.
But I mean, you have to have money up there. Like, I mean, like it's
Yeah.
like you know, like if you want to go live, if you don't have money and you want to live cheap, you go to Mexico, not Canada.
That's
Well,
true.
look how many politicians fled the country after Trump was reelected, and they're like, "We're never coming back." And now Rosie O'Donnell came back from Ireland, and Ellen's coming back from London.
Ireland sent her back.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
want her.
You leave or you will.
I don't care.
swing.
Like, I don't care which one leave. They can go leave, whatever.
Who cares who leaves and stays? Is that a thing people care about?
Yeah.
America, you
Yes.
can do that.
If you guys don't do what I say, I'm moving out of the country.
It must be nice to have that kind of money.
Who cares, right? Like, how's that going to influence anyone's decision? Oh no, Rosie O'Donnell won't stay. I'll vote differently. Said no one ever.
I think people voted to make her leave. Actually, Christian. Diane, my oldest daughter tells me that I'm going to have to sell my house and come out there and live with her. So
That's one in South Central California.
yeah, so I may be in your state one of these days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can the state of California take both of
Plenty
you?
of lovely parts of California.
I like California.
Oh,
I just
California
don't-
sucks.
Pretty
Not
expensive.
Robin.
But
Yeah, that too. It's so much fun because you look at California, we're like, and now all the billions found out, like that train that goes billions, 20-some billion dollars, and they don't have the train, and it's like, dudes,
well,
Yeah, that fast track
you're
system.
how many
You're still like,
billions-
oh yeah, we have a train here that goes maybe 50 miles that costs that, and it's diesel. It's the biggest diesel engine, and it's only like 10 years old. And you come on, guys, it's just and then this was a good one. Don't go over the Golden Gate Bridge. You can go look at it; it's real cool, but they don't maintain it.
Oh,
Then
God.
so. No, it's all I'd seen pictures, and it's like rust. And you go over the bridge, and a lot of bridges will make that noise when you go over a certain section. Golden Gate Bridge is not supposed to make noise. The metal, sheet metal, and whatever it was a quarter inch.
Stop.
It's now a half an inch thick because of the
Stop when you
rust.
say that.
Half an inch, whatever it was.
It's not bad enough.
It is, and one end of it is held up with wooden props. But again, you've got the board people get over $100,000 a year once they retire, and they retire all the time because they're set by the
Dan, where you
whoever
get
they
all
are
this-
that
where you
to
get all
pay
this
off somebody.
information
Oh
at?
my gosh,
Where do you
that's
where do
what
you
we
get all
need
this
to say.
information at? Oh, look at the baby.
I am. Oh, that's more important.
I
No,
changed his
I'm not
baby's
gonna.
name to Bruce Jr.
How look at me? He said,
Hi, I'm Terry. I'm Terry. Blah 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 blah.
Hey.
She'll be back.
Hey, so apparently, over at least 200 U.S. military personnel were killed or
today?
injured in the retaliation. Yeah,
In Bahrain.
Gosh.
on the U.S. bases in the region.
Wait, what did you just say, Dean? I missed that.
At least 200 U.S. personnel were either killed or injured in the
200?
They bombed. See, they
Yeah.
bombed Qatar. They bombed.
Iran.
Like Iran bombed like every base that we had in those
Yeah,
other neighboring countries.
Me and Terry played the video earlier on her channel. Like Bahrain and naval base was bombed. It's a huge explosion. Terrible.
200.
Terrible.
That's not worth the hostage, people.
Oof. They're done now.
You're muted, Dan. We can't hear you, brother.
If we lost 200 personnel, they're screwed, man.
I'm sad over it.
They are screwed now.
It's 200 boys.
And girls.
Girls in there too, even.
Well, maybe.
Well,
Yeah, but mostly probably young boys. I mean, there might have been some women in there, but like most like I don't think the whole like usually that's Marines that go in there, like in your little thing. But then if it might have been a base though, there might have been anything on a base though.
I just looked that up, Jamie. I'm sure that what you're seeing is real. I just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, look for. I think the New York Post posted a video of it.
Okay.
Bahrain.
and welcome, Rich. I'm sure you've been seeing what's happening, and why don't you give
I
us
don't
your
even
thoughts
know
on what's
why
happening?
we did it. I have no clue why we did it. I don't watch the population manipulation channels, so I've heard bits and pieces here. What's their excuse to go slaughter a bunch of people on the other side of the world?
Because once again, the claim was made that they had weapons of mass destruction.
Oh, that whole thing again.
They were days away from accessing nuclear, even though we went in and like totally destroyed their nuclear like thing. Like after Trump first took office, he said,
Yeah,
we wiped out the whole thing. We killed it. We killed it off.
didn't they say we set them back like 10 years after that
Oh,
strike?
yeah, like we did, you know,
And
like,
that was a few months ago.
yes, we took it all out.
I read something on social media where the last two liberal presidents, funded all their nuclear operations and gave them permission to do all that, and now we're in there bombing. I mean,
No, they
I
didn't.
don't know.
No, they didn't. No, they did not. They did not
Yeah,
do
that's what I'm
that.
saying. Like, all right, that can
The presidents actually worked out a deal to where we were allowed to walk through their facility and keep an eye on their facilities. Like we did not fund anything for them. That's not what happened. They are allowed to use nuclear stuff to develop for energy. Okay, and there's a different amount of uranium that has to be enriched for weapons.
Yeah, I get it. 238 and 235.
And
There's a
so
difference.
we worked out a deal. There was a deal made to where we would be allowed to keep a constant, like we would be allowed to check them every so often. We had a deal to where we could actually keep an eye on how their development of nuclear stuff was going, so we could make sure that they were not enriching it to weapons grade. And Trump like jerked us out of it, like he pulled us out, and so then we couldn't go in there at all anymore. So that's how that happened.
See, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you never know what's really going on because there's always a he said, she said from this side and the same thing from the other side. They're at fault. These guys are at fault. I just don't know who to believe anymore. I don't know if it's justified, but we're over there slaughtering people for some reason. So,
well, I mean, like, don't watch bias like left wing or right wing news. Like, go to a source where it actually gives you the facts about what happened.
Now, did you guys hear? Because
hopefully we're not talking about
somebody
factcheck.org.
told me, and it was Pakistan and Afghanistan are duking it out. Not bad. I mean, not like this, but is that happening too?
Pakistan bombed Afghanistan night before last.
Man, I got to come to the Proverbs, guys, for my up-to-date news.
But I don't know why none of that. I don't know what I don't like.
I heard more like
I think that had something to do with us too. Like there's
No.
I heard we're like at war with Gaza, backing Israel. So, whose side are we on? And is Israel against Iran? What's going on?
Yes, Israel and Iran hate each other. Yes.
We, the United States and Israel together are collaborating bombings on Iran. We've already taken out their leader.
Well, then, let's wipe our hands and go home then.
Rich, do you remember back when Carter was president and I
When
told
was he president?
Carter, like
When?
like Reagan was elected in what, 1980?
Rich is
Yeah, I
only
was born
24.
in 82.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have way too much gray hair for it to be in my 40s, but
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you was way
no,
old.
you're good.
That's the equivalent of when, like, a man asks a woman when she's due, and she's like,
Yeah,
"I'm not
yeah.
pregnant."
I'm sorry, man.
What?
I'm in rock food all day, so it's all right. No, I don't remember when Carter was in office.
Well, see, like they took when Carter was in office is when Ayatollah Khomeini came into power in Iran. They deposed the Shah, and he left and ran off, and Ayatollah come back, and they took everybody hostage at the American embassy, and they had like I can't remember how many was it, like 70 maybe something like that of them hostages. And they kept them for a year and would put them on TV with bags over their heads, and they would beat on them and they would starve them and stuff. And it was our people. But if we lost 200 soldiers going in there, I mean that didn't do a thing for them hostages anyway. So
Mm.
that's a lot of. I mean, if that's true, that's a lot of Americans.
A
Yeah,
lot.
that definitely changes things because that means we're not pulling out anytime soon.
I mean, that's a lot of Americans for like the action that we took. You know, like this was supposed to be a like military strike in and out. I bet you, like, if you want to know what's going on in the war, watch Rand Paul.
Well, the reason they did this all overnight is because most Americans were sleeping, and no American would have been in favor for this because it's not an in and out, and we all knew that this would never be an in and out, and that's why they've been talking about it all of my life but never acting on it.
I knew they was going to do it. I mean, like, nobody should be surprised. We moved every carrier. We've moved every battleship. I mean, we had 3 of our largest carriers in that area right there together.
You think that was
Yeah.
related?
Huh?
I mean, yeah, now it makes sense, but I honestly thought it was Trump just flexing his muscles to try to get leverage to be like, hey, we'll do what we have to.
No.
I really thought it was.
Like, they moved, you know, half of the fleet to that area. Like, you know, they had battleships there, carriers, and we don't even know where the submarines are because they don't give those. Like they're
We got more than submarines now.
yeah, they
He
don't
gave
give
them,
they
he gave
don't
them a
give
red
their
line, and they wouldn't listen. So I mean,
they
Now
don't
look-
give their location away on the submarines. Like we can tell where the battleships and the carriers are because we can see them, but they don't tell us where the submarines are. So I'm sure we got all kinds of submarines out there too.
yeah, they got silent unmanned submarines now that have nukes on them that just sit on the bottom. They don't make any noise, and they're all over the place.
Now, look, guys, we all claim to be patriotic here, but if we're honest with ourselves, has either Batman or Christian volunteered for the front yet?
Oh,
Well,
Batman will.
Christian has way too many kids to go to war.
You're
I have
right.
entirely too many kids.
So Batman, it's kind of up to you, man.
That leaves
It's
it
kind
up
of
to
shameful.
Dean.
Oh, Dean is not going to war.
Dean, can
Well,
you go
first of
slaughter the
all-
Iranians and get this over with?
No.
Well, I have flat feet, so I don't qualify.
They don't care about flat feet when it's
Let's go.
Iran.
Yeah.
It sounds like that cold feet.
They'll wrap Daffy Duck's feet up with duct tape for this one.
Yeah, oh, Dean has bone spurs.
Yeah.
How about all the illegal immigrants who don't want to get thrown out of the country? Let's send them to the front lines. If they survive, we give them citizenship.
If
You
they
guys are
draft
thinking
me, I'm
maybe
going
this is
full
just-
clinger.
You think this is just obfuscation from
Steven,
the
they're not.
Oh.
The military's not hard up enough to draft you.
But if we get there, Robin, I'm going full clinger. I will wear all the fancy dresses to get out of there.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
that's accepted in the military now.
Well, it was in the Obama administration. They would have made me a colonel, but
mean,
I
you-
think Trump's undone all of that.
you have a, you know, like, you're fine. Like they're
Got to
not.
work on your lisp,
They're
Stephen.
not coming after you.
This escalated
I went
quickly.
in to volunteer for Iraq, and they said I was too old. Those butts.
How old were you then, Dan?
How old are you, Dan?
That was 24 years ago.
Yeah.
Over 45. He
Man,
had-
you're the oldest.
I was debating with this liberal guy, and really his parents were communists, and we'd always go back and forth, and it was like goes, well, if you're really go volunteer, and I was like, okay. So I went down. I said, I'll go be a truck driver, and yeah, they
Was
wouldn't.
you drinking when this happened? Was you drinking?
Are you still drinking?
Oh, mercy.
Well, that's actually what I believe. It's like, oh yeah, United States, we're out there for good, and it's like, so that was kind of my whatever pill time. That's like, no, Jesus, better focus on you because all these people are not nice in our government. All governments. I'm not going to pick on. I think I totally should have gone a long time ago. Yeah, that's mine. Here's mine. See what you guys
I'll
think.
vote for you.
Got all those missile things, and it's like just like when they
Missile
took
gun.
out Iraqi dude, Insane or Hussein, whoever he was.
Not
You
a-
know, all you had to do is one missile through one of his rooms, and it's like straighten up, or we got more coming. And it's like a whack-a-mole. And then if they took him out, it's like, okay, the next government
Middle
people.
Eastern whack-a-mole.
Hey,
That's hilarious.
when we caught Saddam Hussein, we had to go dig him out under the ground. He was he was buried. He was hiding in an underground bunker, and they actually had to like break into the bunker and get
Say
him
buried one more time, Robin.
buried.
You said buried.
buried.
I just like to point out that Dan, you look very well nourished, and I don't hear any frogs in the background.
It's not dark yet.
Nope. Yeah, not yet. I was looking at it last night. I was looking at it again. It's
I told
over
him
there.
put a light in there when he's talking at night.
Yeah,
Not
Dan,
talking.
you did so good in the debate. It is unfortunate that those darn frogs showed up because it really distracted from some of your really good points.
Yeah.
That was what made my point seem good.
Love the frog.
Yeah, it's the frogs.
From what I
Because
hear,
the
you
frog.
killed it, man. I only saw a few minutes, but everybody says you killed it, man.
No, he didn't kill the frogs.
It was a good song. Even though Rich wanted him to, Rich was like sending him recipes. So like,
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I was over here praying, "Dear God, let somebody step on that frog."
Dan
There was
would
a free unclean spirit, Stephen, trying to disrupt him in the debate.
Exactly.
Dan would not do that. Dan would not kill his frog. That's why I was like, Dan's not going to eat his frog.
Yeah, I collect them even in other places and bring them in
Rich
here.
sent him recipes.
But Rich didn't understand that they were tree frogs, so they're not like what we have here.
You can't eat a tree frog, man. They ain't, nothing,
They could
There's
Well, you
ain't nothing there worth eating.
double or triple bread them so they're at least the size of a nugget. You know.
That's true. Buried in
Yeah,
the-
you guys do have to go back and watch that debate though. And Robin showed up and she started reading off questions for us. It was really good.
yeah,
I need to
because
go back and watch it. I only call a few minutes.
I couldn't read my own writing because that J.W.J. Bros, or whatever his name was, James, he had like questions that were like a whole page long.
I hate when people do that because it makes it hard to follow.
Well, he was kind of like the question. He was like referencing what his question was about. He was like, "So in this circumstance, with this, what's this?"
They need to just level with us, Robin. Just ask the question.
Oh, it was. I
Do
was
you
like,
love me?
gosh,
Do
I got
you
right
want
on
to be my friend? Check yes or no.
Yes.
Where'd Claude go? I didn't give him permission to leave my screen.
Well, we weren't talking to him, so he felt like the odd man out.
Well, he's always the odd man out, but him and me. But it's like he could have stayed.
I think him and Dan have bonded.
Oh, we have.
Yeah, they're definitely close.
We're about the same time. I think he's like 20 years older. But you know, I was when I was young, I hung around a bunch of old people like him, and so I get his humor and he gets mine. Why? I mean, gosh, I got to be so sensitive with some younger people. They just don't get it.
Well, in addition to that Trinity panel we have next week with the two LDS members, we also have a debate between Rich and Mark Reed coming up.
Mark
And
Reed.
I'm super excited for that one.
Yep.
How's that going to work? I don't know how that thing's structured.
I can send you the official structure, but if you watched the debate last night, it's going to be identical.
Okay.
What
This is
channel?
my first debate. I just don't want to tolerate, just any ad hominem attacks or anything like that. I might just mute him or boot him myself.
No. We're not going to have that. Like,
No.
it'll be canceled if it's that way.
Yeah. Robin and I are going to be moderating it together. So it's going to be pretty equal, and I don't think it'll turn that way.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
stop it. But like, Mark is not. I don't know where. Like, I don't know if you've watched Mark or whatever, but he's not an ad hominem person unless he gets attacked too. Like, he's a pretty respectful guy. But
Where'd you find this guy? I mean, I
I've
know
been
you don't
friends
have
with
an
him for a long
Australian
time.
accent, so
I've been friends. He lives in Australia. I've been friends with him for a long time.
She said he lives in Australia. Oh.
I've been friends with him a long time, probably about 6 years, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah, he's on top of it. He knows his stuff.
He's debated Doc a few times.
a few times. Come
Oh,
back
yeah.
from-
Yeah, he's been on our open panels back when we used to do the Lions Dens. They got pretty brutal, and he came
I met
on
him.
multiple times.
I met Missing Maud through him, actually. That's how I met Missing Maud.
Really?
And Terry, I guess because I met Terry on Missing Maud's.
How
So how
far
would you
back do you and
compare-
Maud go?
Like I met Miss Maud when like Father Charles was still doing a show and Ma was doing his show, and that's when I met Pike.
Where the heck is Missing Maud at? I ain't seen her around.
She
She's
don't-
back.
Yeah. She's not a big fan of Steven, I don't think.
Not this month. Next month, she'll love us again.
I was
Yeah.
actually passing through that way not too long ago, where she's at.
She got really upset at us because I'll show you guys this clip. This clip alone is why she hates our guts.
But don't show it again.
Yo, Dave, your house is on fire. Let it burn. Your house is on fire. Let it burn! All right.
Because of that video, she accused us of terroristic threats and plotting insurrection against our government.
I now
She
hate
a liberal.
you too, like because of the video.
You don't like the video?
I don't know what it means, but I feel the hate rising up from the inside.
Well, the video, it's a picture of the White House burning, and the caption is that, yeah, the caption is that if every nation or every politician has to get arrested and the system fails, let it burn.
Man, I laughed so hard when Kristi Noem said that they had no right to have guns at a protest. I was like, "You're Kristi Noem. What are you talking about? You're like Mrs. January 6th, and now you can't have guns at a protest."
Thank you.
I'm telling you.
What?
Thank you. Like they just, it's like this. They were like, we didn't know the left had guns.
Take a side.
And she's like, you can't protest against your government like that because it's rebellion. And then turns right around and says, I love the founding fathers and the Revolutionary War.
People
You
have
know-
never read that amendment, Stephen. They think it's about hunting.
Yeah.
No.
I think just the bit of that I caught, she had been in the chat for a while, and y'all were being a little crazy.
I think that she was offended because we said if every political system has to burn and every country collapses as a result of exposing all the elite eating children, then that's what should happen.
Well, she
that
knows
would be
that
the righteous thing to
That
happen.
one, remember?
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's not why she was upset. She was going off about the idea that guys should be having protests with being armed, being a good idea. She thought that was not a good idea and that it might be read the wrong way and put people's lives in danger.
I didn't have anything to do with that conversation, though.
I
That all
said,
happened while I was at work.
I mean, when I came into the chat and I saw what was going on, like,
Maybe Daniel Newman was on at the time because I think it was between them.
with Dan as well.
Yeah. Well, she's at it with everybody right now.
I said if they're
I'm not-
eating
Well,
the
I'm
people,
cool with her.
type one, and she typed one, so she knows they're eating the people.
Yeah, she's not mad at me and Terry's fine with her.
Well, she hates my guts.
She don't hate nobody.
I don't think she hates your guts.
It's
Mr.
be-
Maud
she's
is not-
racist.
Mr. Maud is not capable of hating.
Racist?
It's it's a hate crime actually because I hate it.
She's not capable of hating people.
I got some shows that I'm gonna send you, Robin, that would beg a differ.
I don't care. Like whatever she says, she has diarrhea of the mouth sometimes. So do I. But she's not capable of actually hating people.
Look, I get it. I've gone too far getting into it with Maud myself, and we made
Yeah.
me and Achilles a mock video and
y'all
really
did
hurt her
bad
feelings.
stuff. Sure.
Well, you know what? It wasn't one way, okay? We were often responding to other things that had been said, and it just got way out of hand.
Do you remember me and you had words over that? Do you remember that?
I don't remember you from
That
that
was-
far back.
That was when when y'all made that video and all that stuff and
With
did
the
all-
clown music.
Yeah, that's when I came over your channel and me and you got into it in your channel. Over that.
I'm surprised I didn't block you, Rob.
Oh, I mean, you were mad, like you're pissed because I like.
Robin, you're on thin ice around here.
Very
Only
thin.
time I've ever heard an atheist being allowed to administrate a Christian channel. I mean, that's probably rare. Huh?
That is rare. She's the only atheist that has a wrench at Proverbs, guys.
She's cool, you know. I
You
like
gave
her.
Aiden one.
No.
No, I think that was Achilles.
Oh, okay. Well, Aiden,
Where-
By the way,
I don't know. I do know. He's really upset about all of these developments, and he didn't
Right.
want to do any show unless we addressed what's happening. So I did relent, and I changed the show last minute to this, and then I sent him the link, but he never did stop by. So maybe he's sleeping and just trying to avoid the news for right now.
Yeah, he needs to just turn the news off for like a month, man.
That's good advice.
Yeah, I
Yes.
don't watch the news.
Yes. I
Mm-mm.
agree.
It's
Guarantee
witchcraft.
after that month, you're not going to want to go back, man.
It
know?
is witchcraft, Robin, because it's broadcasting and it's sending out manipulation and fear to the masses.
Ask Miss Robin what she does for a living.
I remember I was at a truck stop a couple of years ago, and I was just sitting eating a sandwich and had my back to the television. There were probably, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 people in the restaurant. And then
Wait a minute.
all of a sudden it came back from commercial, and they're like breaking this just in the way they say with all their sounds. And like every single one instantaneously just looked straight to the television. It's like they have that thing figured out just to really suck our attention in and just fill our mind with nonsense. I don't know what the psychological trick is called, but I would really love to know. Really love to do some research. I don't know if it was what was it, the Nazis that come up with this stuff, or Sigmund Freud, or something's going on there.
Bernays, more like.
Hey, honey, I did haul milk, but I don't anymore because
She
Christian,
used to haul milk in
I
a
had a
truck.
stroke, and now I sit in a wheelchair all day.
She used to haul milk so you could drink milk.
Yeah, but Robin, that does mean you're never going to walk out of our lives. And I
What?
appreciate that.
Yeah, they're right.
That's
Not
why
very,
I'm trying
Maybe
to
you had a
fat,
stroke, Robin. I'm sorry to hear that.
not very speedily anyway.
I'm trying to fatten Krista up so she's bedridden.
Like I can walk a little bit.
takes
I have a walker though, but like it's dangerous for me to try to do too much. Like I can clean my house and stuff with it. So I use a wheelchair.
Well, Tammy won't even do that, and she's not even in a wheelchair. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I don't blame her. I don't have all them kids either. No.
Pike just signed his own death warrant.
No,
Yes.
yeah, it's over for me, guys.
And Robin, I was you'd be the perfect person for stand-up comedy. Maybe I was wrong.
My goodness, Christian, she's looking so much like Tammy.
I know it, believe me. Yeah, I thought these are some bad kids. These are Bebe's kids. Y'all remember that movie, Bebe's Kids?
Oh, yeah, baby's good.
That's what I got.
Really?
Yeah.
Claude wants to perform a miracle.
Pastor's kids.
Claude says to take up your bed and walk, commands Claude. Let's see if he has any powers.
We're on a queen. I'm not picking that up.
No. Leave me alone, Claude.
It's not even one with the handles on it.
Where is Achilles at?
I think this was just he is an IFP, so he gets affected by this stuff like really in depth. So I think it's just overwhelming for him, is why he's not here. And it probably worked out because I know him, and he's not as tame in the tongue as I can be. Haha. And if with Dan here, we probably both would have got fired if Achilles showed up.
He's also like in a part of the world that is closer to all of that, which is probably scary.
I did.
Yeah, them being part of Europe, it affects them a lot more than it does the U.S.
Yeah, he's not that awfully far from there by comparison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not even involved in the war. I don't get it.
He would only be happy if we nuked Turkey. But
You said nuke Turkey? What?
No.
That was Arthur's there. You can't do that.
The what?
Don't
That
want
was
to
Arthur's there. You can't nuke Turkey.
You don't need to be nuking
Yeah,
anybody.
Man's out here with the hot
again, another.
takes.
No
They took
nukes.
a lot of land from.
Go on mute.
No nukes. No nukes.
No, okay. He would be happy if we bombed them back into pre.
Achilles don't want to bomb
Muhammad
people.
days.
Like he don't want to bomb people.
See, Dan's just been looking for a reason to fire us, and this was it. So that's why Achilles waited outside.
Heck no, you gotta do a lot more than that. How would
You
I
know
have a
what?
show at all?
You know what I watched the other day, Dan? I was going back through some of our old episodes, relabeling some of the Lions Dens with what the topics were. And I came across the episode introducing you as the new president. And then right after that, I came across the episode of you explaining what had happened with Ryan and him being forced to resign and disciplinary. It wasn't. That was the Holy Spirit. He told me to get out of Dodge and put you in charge.
Remember Claude? Like Claude was like, was he in it? Because he was like, I don't think Dan is the president. I think they're lying about making.
Oh no, none of them believed it from the start. It was all an elaborate ruse.
I'm still on the fence,
It was a
personally.
conspiracy the whole time. They were like, Dan is just a dummy president. You know what I mean? Like he's not the real president.
Where'd Pike go? You get back on that camera, Pike.
I'm eating quiche.
What?
Henry,
Oh, go off.
so good.
Oh, man.
It's like
Quiche.
so good.
I already made you dinner. You want some quiche now? I'll make you some quiche.
Everybody thinks Christian is a country boy, and he's like sitting around in a bathrobe eating quiche.
Look, yeah,
Yeah, but he was always, you're fake
That's
president.
the
You're
life
fake
of a
president.
Southern pastor right there, man.
I had shepherd's pie.
Pike, you gotta admit I was the best fake president you ever saw.
And that smoothie. And
Your
then
president, so you were not fake.
I'm just thankful that he's been able to keep the ruse up for like a year and a half now.
he's doing a fine job.
He's a great actor.
Y'all do 4-year terms, or what do y'all do?
And we have no budget, so we can't pay him off.
It's IOUs. Come on now.
Oh, American currency. I get it.
I saw
Oh my God.
Krista. I saw her peep in there.
Yeah, she came in and waved to everybody.
Hi.
Wait, y'all got to get Tammy to make all this quiche. This quiche is going off right now. That's the
No, you need to get Tammy to come join one of the Proverbs Gal
What
shows.
did they do?
Hey,
It's,
she
called-
thought about it the other day. She almost did it.
Shit, I wish she would have.
it's almost like Tammy ain't got enough people to feed.
No, they
I've
say
already been invited.
Noel's saying that I don't talk like the kids, but I do.
Do you think we were teaching?
This quiche is dropping it like it's hot, as the kids say.
Are you sewing, Terry?
I'm crocheting.
They say it.
I'm working on a sweater vest.
No, okay.
Catch her crocheting
No baby
on
booties.
stream.
Not making baby booties.
Not yet.
The Prepared Adventist says, "Where's Jamie and Terry? I'm here for them."
Hi, I'm
Ter-
here. Jamie's right there. He's got his
Terry's
hat.
here. Jamie's dissing us.
I'm here. You don't see me?
Y'all don't see him? He's right there.
Jamie's not on this stream because he's pro-Israel like me, and he didn't want to get beat up on.
See me? I'm here. See?
Where's Jamie's mustache?
It's still there.
It's here.
He grew
It
it
came
back.
back. But I think we should name his mustache the Selleck.
Yeah.
I'm here with y'all. I'm with y'all.
Prepared Adventist, we are talking about the United States and Israel and their joint strikes on Iran, what this means for the nation, what this means for
Yeah,
the
Jared.
world.
Hi, Jared.
Join the stream.
Get up
Join
here.
the stream, Jared.
Although he had trouble last time he tried to join here, I think.
It's
He's
hard.
been figuring out EV Mux.
EV Muck's on phone.
Yeah, and it does help if you come on your phone through the Chrome browser.
Mind me to try that next time because I've never been able to do it with my phone.
Well, I'm glad you joined from your computer, Robin.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't. I'm at home all the time now, so I don't have to do the phone. I used to have to do the phone because I was at the milk plant every time.
I'm excited about mine and your debate coming up. Evolution is a religion.
Is evolution really?
When are y'all doing that?
Like,
It's scheduled for the next month for the 30th. So
we've done like rescheduled it twice.
yeah.
He's scared of you, Robin. That's what it is.
No, I was actually responsible for one of them.
Well, I'm basically, for my intro, I'm just going to play a clip of Doc doing his opening.
Oh, whatever.
I'm going to let you just debate Doc through my slides. Tested and true, baby.
We will have a confrontational debate this time then.
I know. Well, I think it was going to be anyways, but still for us, that's polite. I can't be mean to you.
I actually think you would do better than Doc anyway.
I don't know. Doc has a great grasp of the science.
No.
Even if some of it's outdated, he's got a great grasp of the terminology even will help you out.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. actually have a great grasp of the science at
I
all.
know that's what you guys think, but the
No,
man's been in like
because
300
we
debates.
know the science, like, and he's not changed it.
It's
In
almost 400 now.
400, like 400 debates, he's still using the same non-science stuff.
I do agree that there's a lot in his slides that he needs to update because the information that we've got since back then has changed. So it would be greatly beneficial to him to do that.
Working this time. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Prepared Adventist. How are you? Okay.
I don't hear a thing.
All right. So, Jamie, maybe you could call him and
So
tell
weird.
him that when he comes into the studio to go to his settings and change his audio output.
Okay, so when I do.
Let me try to message him.
I mentioned this quiche.
I'm gonna get off here, y'all. I just came in to tell you what I thought about today.
All right,
All right,
later, Robin.
Later. Have a good night.
Thanks so much, Robin.
I hope we didn't lose 200. So
I see Robin.
Yeah.
love y'all.
If we did lose that many, Robin, we're going to blame you.
No,
There's no
Robin,
blame.
Jesus loves
There's
you.
no blame.
it's not Robin's fault.
No, I know. There's no blame. No, I mean, like, I'm not necessarily against it. He killed 10,000 of his own people the other day after those riots and stuff.
Mm,
That's a lot of people.
yeah, it is.
I told him, what do? You change the audio output settings?
Yeah, you change your audio output settings. And I don't know if they have it going to like headphones right now or something, but he can just keep changing it out until he finds the one that lets him hear us. I don't know why EV Mux does that.
Great topic for our Muslim friends, because so much stuff came rushing back as I was talking to them. It's that whole thing of the Bible is not reliable, and at the same time, and then they're going, but we'll believe first century saints, whatever you want to call them, leaders, to tell us what the Bible said, even though the Bible is not. And then Paul, you can't really trust him. Peter, you can't trust them, but we'll trust the next. It's like, guys, without, and definitions, definitions of things. And so that was fun. That will be fun, because it's like, how do you trust anybody if you don't have truth?
Well, and Robin has that Muslim apologist who's looking for some debates, and we may try to get him to come talk to us. I'll reach out to Robin and ask her to set it up for us.
Yeah, because I think he's atheist now. And it'd be even just to chat, because I'd love to, insight on what they really. And it's, again, they always say we have one unified faith, and they don't. Because Iran and Saudi Arabia aren't friendly, because they have different Islamic traditions, and so it'd be just see where he's from, and there's other sects of Islam. So right now, that's a big subject.
Yep. Well, and it sounded like Rich was wanting to get a debate in with Richard. What were you guys getting into, Rich?
Rich and Richard? Who's Richard?
Robert. I mean Robert.
The
Mormon from last night?
Refresh my memory.
He's the Mormon you were talking with.
Questions that I had about, some things that didn't make sense. He was trying to take the glory away from God. He couldn't answer anything about the thief on the cross, which I think is enough to show that baptism isn't necessary. Because Jesus said, he'd be in paradise with him that day. He never had a chance to get off the cross and get baptized. I don't really want to, debate the topic. I mean, I couldn't have done any better than Dan did,
Dan, what are you wanting to debate next? Dan
How
walked
frog
away
leg-
and muted.
What? Yeah, I'm gonna start doing some weeding.
Yeah.
What-
What are you gonna have your next debate with Robert on?
I don't know. Because we do Trinity thing next week, just conversation. But yeah, I really want to get into just terms. Not even debate, but one of the next things, because they will say like that. They'll say, "Oh, grace." Oh, well, that means baptism. Because some early Christian
Yeah.
bishop said that grace actually means baptism, and again, my thing is, if it meant baptism, I think they would have said baptism. But who am I?
I would love you guys to get into how many gods there are.
Oh dear.
We won't. No, I won't go there. Anyway, yeah, there's just so many things that, and the main thing, that's why I went with salvation, is that that's what ties people. That's what makes you a child of God, a Christian, and to have that
I can hear you guys now.
really defined.
Hey,
And
Jared.
Hi.
is he here?
Can you hear us? All right.
Yeah, everything seems to be working okay now.
Awesome.
Jamie gave me some advice by text.
Awesome.
He's a smart man. He knows who to marry.
Well, you've tried several times to come on. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, what would you like to know? I'm kind of a shy person.
I'm going to guess by your name that you put up there, you have no connections to the Adventist Church. Would that be correct?
Absolutely not. They're a cult. Worst
No.
cult you could ever join. No chicks, no money. It's just all it is prayer, Bible study, independent thinking, and good deeds.
Well, just so you know, I'm not Adventist, but I am a Sabbath keeper, so no one's going to throw tomatoes at you. No one's perfect.
I'd love to hear his testimony, how he came to faith in Jesus, and all that good stuff.
Oh, for that, I was in college. My grandmother was a Seventh-day Adventist. It's kind of a convoluted story. And I was thinking of becoming a Christian, but I was, to put it mildly, I was having too much fun with girls because I was in really good physical condition. And when girls say looks don't matter, they're lying. And then one day during the summer, I was doing research at my college because I was a chemistry major. And I had 3 different girlfriends, and they all knew about each other, and they were vying to see who would win. And I came back from a party one day, and I kind of decided, who am I kidding? There actually is a God. And that was it. I became convinced that there was a God, And then I had to decide which version of God was the truth. And for whatever reason, I ended up studying Mormonism, Islam, because I was kind of a Chan or a Zen Buddhist for a long time. I ended up studying Mormonism, Islam, and Christianity. And I took the Mormon challenge of, pray and God will reveal it to you, really super serious, so serious. I was scared that I was going to have to tell my friends I was a Mormon. I was scared because I was so committed to whatever the truth would be. And I ended up landing on Christianity because of the reliability of the Bible, I guess you would put it. Then I had to figure out what flavor of Christianity, if you want to put it that way. And my grandmother was a Seventh-day Adventist, and I was familiar with that. And all my evangelical friends were like, no, don't do that. They're a cult. And I started investigating that. And they gave me, Kingdom of the Cults by Walter Martin and all that other stuff. And by this time I started at UCLA, was doing a PhD in engineering there. And make a long story short, I became a Seventh-day Adventist by reading all the anti-SDA material I could get my hands on through the UCLA library. And it consisted of two things. If the detractors have to lie and use deception to, it just lended credibility to the truth claims of the Adventists. If you like Walter Martin, I mean, come on. How many times was that guy married? I mean, that's different from his theological claims, but, the guy was a scoundrel. And so if you have to use deception to convince people of the rightness of your cause, it's probably because you don't have very good ideas. And and then really, what really nailed it wasn't the Sabbath or the investigative judgment, which I considered very important. It was their understanding of righteousness by faith, and their correct understanding of faith and works, which was a lot better and a lot more gracious, in my opinion, than pretty much anything else I had run into. And this was after,
if I could ask,
calling
So
go ahead.
you said you did a lot of research into the Mormon Church as well, and I was just wondering did you find that the Mormons used a lot of the same scripture to prove Joseph Smith that the Seventh-day Church did for Ellen?
No. Ellen White was probably the last thing I became comfortable with years later. That was about the last thing.
Okay.
I didn't become comfortable with Ellen White until maybe a decade later.
Gotcha. Jason, can you hear us?
The Mormonism, because they were henotheists. There's many gods, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Isaiah, I am the only God that exists. I know not any others. And, what's that in Isaiah, right? There are no other gods. I know not many.
Yeah, none were created before me, nor were any created after me.
Yeah, and Adventists don't have at least as far as I know, now, within the Adventist Church, just like in any other organization, there's a bell curve of understanding. Just like whenever you got any population of anybody, there's a bell curve to everything, whether that's height, weight distribution, beliefs, anything. But their view of the prophetic gift is not like what the Mormons view. Right, their view of Ellen White and the Mormons' view of Joseph Smith are not at all the same. So, and anyway, Ellen White was the last thing I became comfortable with. It didn't.
Oh.
It just didn't matter.
Hey, Dan, are you still with us? Did you have any questions?
Like, oh, wow, this is the true church because Ellen White, and oh, wow, what a great prophet we have, and I'm convinced of this and I'm convinced of that because I was some sucker that bought into that.
Are you a Trinitarian?
Of course.
I don't know if you'd be interested, but now that you have figured out how to get on and be able to hear us, we have this, it's an open panel coming up next week. And on this open panel, we're going to be talking to two LDS members about the Trinity, the nature of God. So if you're interested in coming by to see it and hang out with us and put your 2 cents in, feel free to stop by.
Yeah. Why would you ask if I was a Trinitarian?
I'm just not sure about all of the Seventh-day theology, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Hi, Jason.
Jason, can you hear us? Everyone has trouble hearing us when they come in. I don't know what it is about everybody not being able to talk.
I just had to change my audio settings to use a different speaker system or whatever. I
Dan,
don't know
could you
why.
maybe let Jason know about that?
So we go to audio.
Yeah, he needs to go to audio output and change the output option.
What does it
Jamie,
change it to?
Jamie, are you going to show up for that Trinity conversation?
What time is it?
You'll love this, being a Seventh-day Adventist. It's the 7th of next month at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I should be able to go. I get off at 4 o'clock. I hear. Yeah, I might be late because of my schedule, but I hear the frogs.
I would go so far as to say that if you were to take Seventh-day Adventism and remove the Trinity and remove the personhood of the Holy Spirit, then you end up with nothing but a legalistic cult, a mean legalistic cult. I have run into people who, for whatever goofy reason within the church, were stopped being Trinitarians. We've had that problem, and they are mean people. The anti-Trinitarians, we've run them out of the church before, and they are mean people, just on a personal level. I've run into, evangelicals with the dispensationalism stuff or whatever, and they're weird, but they're generally kind of nice. I mean, like I've got friends that kind of deny the moon landing too, but they're still nice. You can have weird beliefs, but the ones that I can criticize my own denomination, the ones that I know and within the Adventist church, and we generally try and get rid of these folks, but we're not a cult, so we can't boot you out because we're not an authoritarian top-down structure. So we can't just, you don't walk the line, you're out on first get-go. But the ones that I know who are not Trinitarians, you get to know them for a little period of time, and they're mean on a personal level. You're like, you don't want to know these people. They're jerks.
Yeah, because
Jamie,
usually if you're opposed to the Trinity, you take it out on the Holy Spirit more often than not. And what is a Christian without the Holy Spirit? Without the fruits of the Spirit, you're just a mean, bitter person.
Well, even further, they end up they end up with, you either get saved by your works or you maintain your salvation by your works. And they end up becoming really nitpicky, picayune people. And the way human nature works is you end up being nitpicky and picayune about the people around you and not yourself. And you end up becoming really proud of the fact that you're like a vegan or something, And man, it's one thing. If you ever been around, how you know someone's a vegan? They will tell you. All right, you know what I'm saying?
They also
and then
look
if they
sickly.
become a religious vegan, it's even worse.
A vegan walking around looks a lot like the walkers from The Walking Dead. Like there's just no life in them, no color in their flesh.
Not all of them. That's me.
Me.
Terry Shuck.
But they become nitpicky, picayune.
Are you a vegetarian?
Critical. Oh God, no.
Okay, isn't that? I mean, I don't mean that as a slight. Isn't that a big part of Adventism? I thought they were mostly vegetarian.
7 to 10 years long. Well, here's the thing. Here's the way the rules work, right? You don't have to do the rules to be a member of the church. It's just like, hey guys, we do live 7 to 10 years longer than the average population. That's an undeniable fact. And if you want to live 7 to 10 years longer than the average population, we happen to know how that works.
But do you equate Do you equate the 7 to 10 year extra lifespan to the vegetarian eating habit, or do you credit that more to the Sabbath and taking off a day every week?
All of it. When people ask me, my answer is yes. It comes from, I mean, the ones who follow the so-called rules live 7 to 10 years longer. They are happier. I mean, when they sit there and they say, oh, you know, they're legalistic, they're a happy group of people, right? When people try and tell me, oh, you can be free of the burden of the Sabbath, and my response is, what are you going to do? Take away Thanksgiving too? Right? You know, I mean, God, I don't want to be around you. You going to take away Christmas? You know, the burden of Thanksgiving, right? You bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, why don't you just come over and kick my son's toys?
Yeah, right? You know, yeah, you guys are a bunch of, I mean, you're going to take away the burden of an extra scoop of ice cream and a nap? You know,
isn't that ironic, though?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can be free from this. No, please, I don't. No, I don't want to be free from that. You know?
Yeah.
So if you want to live the 7 to 10 years longer, right, it's going to be the Sabbath off, right? It's going to be the diet. It's going to be the no drinking and the no smoking, of course. It's going to be living in a community where people know you, but are not totally in your business. But if there's something wrong with you and like you're elderly and you kind of haven't shown up for, like, people in the neighborhood, they're Seventh-day Adventists too, and they kind of know you as the old guy that lives down the street. And if there's something wrong with you, they know you well enough to notice and check up on you. You know, you got community and you have purpose.
Okay.
You couldn't talk me into being an evangelical for anything. Oh my God, you're going to take away the Sabbath? And you're going to
Well, I'm a weird mix.
Yeah.
I'm Baptist-Costal on my mother's side, and I'm Hebrew on my father's side. So that's how I came to keeping the Sabbath. But at the same time, I go to church every Sunday, and I would really consider myself just a Sabbath-keeping Baptist-Costal.
Yeah, well, you can go to church 7 days a week. There's no rule against, you know, church attendance and observance of the Sabbath are not one-to-one and on-to, as the mathematicians would say.
Okay.
Right?
Hey, Dan. Dan, did you want us to hear your phone conversation?
Oh, I thought I turned something not to listen. Jason is still having a hard time.
Because when he comes into the studio, he has to go to the settings icon, the gear icon, and he has to go to audio output and change his audio output.
To what?
I don't know what the particular option will be for him, but just change it until he can hear us.
Just keep.
Okay, let me give it a go.
Hey, someone else just had the same problem, Jason, and he figured it out by doing what I'm telling you to do.
Okay.
I did eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, there should be 2 or 3 options. Just switch until you hear us.
Speak for yourself.
So what do you guys?
Go ahead, Jamie.
One thing about the debate Dan had with the Mormon last night was the way the Mormon was using the early church fathers was really irritating to me. But it is interesting that you can find lots of quotes from some of the early church fathers, like that I was familiar with, that he brought up. Like, when we say by faith, we don't mean that you don't have to keep God's commandments, because only he who obeys God's commandments will enter into life.
Would you debate him, Jamie, on which one of you guys has the true church?
I don't see it like they do.
We don't believe we have the.
Like he sees the Mormon church. That's the problem. So,
and again, I'm good friends with Jamie, so none of this is meant to be an insult. I'm truly ignorant.
Well, right. So
I'm not offended. Yeah. Okay. No, I get it. I'm not going to stomp my feet and.
I don't think an Adventist. I think we think we're like the movement. I think it should be considered a movement more than like a church. Like the Mormons think they've restored.
Yeah. We don't think we're the true church and like we're the one denomination that's like.
Yeah, we don't really.
But
see it.
isn't that the same claim as the LDS Church, though? That they didn't start like a new denomination, but they more or less restored the true church. Like they had the apostleship restored.
It's quite a bit different than we think it's a little bit more like the Protestant Reformation, where the Lutherans wouldn't say that Catholics weren't saved.
I think you're gonna have to go and close the YouTube browser in the background, Jason, because we got an echo when you talk. Hopefully you can hear that even.
Okay, the browser's closed.
All right, awesome. Can you, we're still here. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys perfectly well.
Right on. Everybody, this is Jason, host of... Oh, he just booted Steven. Good job, Jason.
Well, just remember to keep muted until you're ready to talk, Jason. And whenever you are ready, unmute and speak your piece.
Yeah, I'm unmuted right now. Do you still got the echo?
Yes, I still hear it. Oh, yeah, that might be what it is. It might be that you need to put on some... Do you have any headphones, Jason?
That's strange because everything else is closed. I'm sorry about the echo. You guys keep talking and let me figure this out here.
If you have any headphones, that'll help.
All right, let me get my buds.
All right. Figuring that out. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, well, Prepared Adventist, you definitely... Is it Jared?
Yeah.
You should definitely come hang out with us on the 7th and help us talk to these LDS members about the Trinity.
I'll try, but I've got rheumatoid arthritis, and sometimes the fatigue hits me like a freight train. And like yesterday, I just napped all day long.
Don't feel bad. I Am Batman is a member of the Mormon Church. Dan is very old. And Richard,
It's
I don't know what he's
not I
doing.
Am Batman. It's not I Am Batman. It's Lamb Batman.
Lem Batman?
It's Lamb Batman.
And you've been letting me call you I Am Batman all this time?
No, it is I Am Batman, but it looks like it's spelled Lamb Batman.
Come on, guys. I was homeschooled. You can't do this to me.
Yeah, Dan is pretty old, man.
You're not echoing anymore, Jason. You figured it out, man.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Jason here is one of our longest running hosts now.
I think Terry nodded off. Is Terry nodded off?
She's wiping the drool away.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sleepy.
Yeah.
It's been a long Sabbath.
Well, go to bed.
I'm thinking about it.
Go cuddle with hubby. Tell him how handsome he is. I'm about to go cuddle with my beautiful bride.
He gets to hear how handsome he is all the time. Trust and believe.
Hey, is he always the big spoon?
Sometimes you just want to be the
or
little
is that
spoon.
too much information?
I mean, sometimes I wouldn't say what I do is spoon. I more kind of like glom onto his side.
So
To be
before we get
fair,
too much
Jamie
into
is a lot of man, so
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah, so everyone's got to stick around because it took me months to be able to be heard and to hear you guys. So nobody's going to bed tonight. Everyone's staying up until 3 in the morning. We're going to talk all night. If you get sleepy, make some popcorn, make some coffee.
Yeah, we'll DoorDash
and see
you coffee.
Well, Jason, now you know.
I
Every
have
time
a
you come onto the
caffeinated drink.
panels, you fix it the same exact way you did tonight, Jason. If you can't hear us,
Yeah, that's the good thing. Now the big thing is that when I do my show, I've got to put everything in reverse and go back and remember. so I'm dialed in for my show on Wednesday. So
Yes.
yeah, so I think it was just a couple of technical things. So so yeah, I'm just glad to be here. I don't know about Dan, or should I say Kermit the Frog? Is Dan still with us?
I think he's pulling weeds.
I'm with you.
There you are.
Here's frogs.
There you are.
That sound is so comforting to me.
And now I'm on the other end of the greenhouse. And they're still
Not as bad.
I want to move where there's frogs, babe.
There's frogs here, babe.
I don't hear no frogs here.
Yeah, but in Portland, you got the Alex Jones frogs. They're all gay.
Well, we have the inflated frog costumes as well.
Yeah, we do have frog people.
Out here in California, do you know what the horses eat?
Who?
The what eat?
In California, do you know what I live in California. Do you know what the horses eat?
Dan, you live in California. You should know.
I live in California.
Well, here's an interesting fact for you guys. Alabama cows will not give you milk. You have to take it from them.
Oh.
So what do California horses eat?
They eat hay.
They eat.
Oh, oh, that is good.
And
That was
you
worth-
guys know why? By the way, I'm a professor of science. I'm a professor of chemistry. Do you guys
That's
know
no
why
excuse.
koala bears are not considered real bears?
Why?
They're not
They don't meet the
qualified.
qualifications.
Oh my God!
Well, if you guys
This
ever
is
need a
Saturday
boat,
night. Oh,
if you guys ever need a boat, I know a guy.
oh no! Oh my goodness! This is
Hey,
Saturday night at the
I use that on
Improv.
my students all the time until they beg me to shut up and just teach.
Oh, Prepared Adventist, tell me that you love Ron Wyatt.
No.
What? You don't love Ron Wyatt? Jamie, where are you
No.
making friends, brother?
Oh.
Jamie didn't know that either. He's heartbroken. You can hear it.
I never talked about it with them.
Man, that's my boy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
He's that guy
Yeah,
that found
they
no
found
fault
the
for
chariot
that year.
wheels, the Exodus, the Red Sea.
That guy.
That guy. Go and check out some of our videos. We've done quite a few on Ron Wyatt. I'm friends with his widowed wife.
Oh yeah.
I've got to go to their house and go into their museum and examine
Wow.
and hold all the artifacts. They're awesome people.
wow.
Okay.
So
That's
do you
pretty-
believe
that-
in
yeah.
giants?
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like
Like
the Book of
biblical
Enoch
giants?
And
No, I wouldn't
like-
say.
like- well,
I don't really consider Enoch to be scripture. Like it is referenced the Book
It's
of Enoch,
not.
but the one that we have came like 300 years after the time of Jesus or something, or
Yeah,
300
okay.
years before
well,
Jesus.
the term giants is a loaded term.
Mhm.
So what do you mean? I mean, like Goliath was a big man.
Ellen White says that the
What do you mean
pre-Noahic
by giant?
people were all giants. So if you believe Ellen White, she thought that Noah and Adam were all giants.
They could have been, but
Yeah.
why would we, like in the time of Exodus and we're entering the promised land, when the spies went
Uh-huh.
out to search, why would
Yep.
they still look at these people as being giants? Why didn't they like devolve like the rest of us?
Mm.
Well, I don't know, but you know, like, unfortunately, I used to be, before I had rheumatoid arthritis and before I had a career in powerlifting, I used to be 5'6". I'm now like 5'4" because of degenerative disc disease and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I saw guys that were the size of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and I saw a city full of them, I would think they were giants.
But
Maybe a
would
little
you-
bit bigger than that.
But being
They said they
Do
were
I
like
think?
grasshoppers.
Do I buy into the Nephilim? They were offspring of angel, demon angel stuff? No.
Man,
So
we
you
just had a
don't. So
conversation on that like 3 weeks ago. You should have been here.
yeah. So
I
what's your?
should
So
have.
I have a question. I have a question. So you don't believe in the fallen angel, um, the demonic fallen angels, or any of that? Um,
Meeting with women.
it, yeah. You don't
Of,
subscribe to
at
any of that.
Genesis 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
I go with the what you would consider the laughable Sethite theory. I don't believe angels can have offspring or mate with people because they're
Unlike you.
spiritual beings, and that's like asking an equation to have sex with a woman.
Like the Holy Spirit got Mary pregnant, like that.
Yeah, well, that's God.
I know, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrail. I'm just kidding.
That was a good one.
So I have a quick question because I came in late. So
Sure.
I wanted to ask everyone just real quick before everyone goes to bed. What is their opinion about what's taking place tonight? What took place tonight in regards to Iran? Are
And the
we
title of
are
our
we
show.
cl- are we
You can
yeah
start.
the title yeah. Do you want me to go ahead and give my 2 cents?
Yeah,
Sure.
you and then Prepared hasn't.
Yeah, we want to hear Adventist, prepared Adventist too, what he thinks. But yes, please, Jason.
Okay, so just real quick, so I think that there's any time that there's war, as a Christian, we know that it's biblically written that we should support our government leaders, that we should pray for them and support them. But we could look at these people that were taken out, and we could say they were evil, which they were. Um, but I believe personally, anytime if there's a war, I think as Christians we have to pause for a minute and be a little saddened because everyone is created in the Lord's image. Now I know they're Muslim. I know they don't like Christians. I know they got their own thing going, but they're human beings, and I just was a little saddened about now. With that said, um, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to support the president. I support the president. I hope everything works out good. What happens, and we know this from Gaddafi, and we know this from Saddam, is when you take out some of these people, the void that's left open, the people that come in is worse than what we had before. So
Yeah.
I'm just praying that everything works out, and the women can finally be women. They don't have to cover their heads. They could be, and everybody can come in, and there could be some goodness can come from this. But we won't see any of that for a few weeks or months down the road. But just in closing, in case nobody knows, there's another war that's going on right now, but they're not talking about it. And it started
Really?
1 hour after this one, and that is Pakistan and Afghanistan right now
Yep.
are at war. So they're not talking about that on the news. It was on at 3 in the morning because I don't go to bed until late. But I haven't heard any more since I heard it at 3 in the morning. So yeah, and I just want to rephrase when I say Afghanistan, I'm talking more of the Taliban. So it's more of Pakistan and the Taliban, but China and Russia both chimed in and was calling Pakistan to cool off because Pakistan has nukes. They're nukes, and India, we know, has nukes too. So Yeah, it seems it's the time, but everything's under the hands. Everything is under the hand of the Lord. This is all going according to the script, and the Lord is overseeing all this. So I just think that we need to pray. Like the Lord says, it's easy to love somebody that you like, but to pray for your enemy is another story. So we should be praying for both our friends and our enemies. So I'll pipe down now and let you scholars now chime in, because I'd like to hear your opinion on. Because I missed it. I missed the beginning of the show.
Oh, well, you'll be punished later. So, Prepared Atheist, got a view on that?
Yeah, you want me to?
That was kind of the show.
What's that?
That was kind of the show today.
I
Yeah.
think.
Can I'm feeling pretty tired. I'm gonna
Aw.
turn off, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hanging out, you
I'm
guys.
gonna DoorDash you some coffee. Hold on.
In the chat.
That'd be nice. Thank you.
You look great, Terry. Have a good night.
Thank you.
God bless.
Bye.
She even makes Jamie look better.
That's part of having a woman.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
God bless you guys.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Regarding Iran, first off, I'm always open to being educated, so my views are tentative. And thank God no one listens to me, so my opinion doesn't really matter. But I don't view the mullahs in Iran as any form of legitimate government. They took over by revolution. They did not rule based on the will of the people. In other words, the people didn't want them there and do not want them there. And they were horrible, vicious murderers of their own people. So, and to the point that they do deserve to die, those guys. Whether or not we should have done that is the point of under discussion. I view the United States military historically in the grand arc of things as the greatest force for good overall in the history of the world. We stopped Nazism, we stopped communism. Doesn't mean they're flawless, but the United States military is very, very good at killing and breaking things, right? If you want something broken, killed, or impregnated, you send the Marines over. Okay? So, and that's what's happening right now. Whether or not that's going to come out for good in the long run, I don't know. We got to pay attention. You never ever historically pay attention to the first revolution. You always pay attention to the second revolution that comes from within. You saw that with the French Revolution. You saw that with the Arab Spring. The Arab Spring was initially an uprising for the people in the Middle East to get rid of the jerks that were in charge, but then the Muslim Brotherhood ended up taking over. Same thing happened with the communists. The only revolution I know of where there wasn't a second revolution that took over that ended up being more bloody and vicious was the American Revolution. And that's because we had geniuses like Thomas Jefferson and John Adams and George Washington. So whether or not this is going to end up being for good for the Iranian people, I don't know. I know that we cannot at all ever let those guys have a nuclear weapon ever, because they will use it. They're not like the Russians. who are just as homicidal but want to live. When I say the Russians, I mean the Russian leadership. I don't mean the average Russian on the street. The average Russian leadership want to have nuclear weapons. Putin wants to have nuclear weapons because he wants to rule an empire, right? But the Iranians, they gave Iraqi children little plastic keys called, the keys to paradise, and had them walk across minefields to clear minefields. Right? They did that to children. Right? Just complete savages. And the animals like that need to go. So, but whether or not when we do it, if it's we don't have a really great history of getting rid of monsters and then what comes on its heels being better than what was before. We did it okay with Germany. We did it okay with France. I mean, not France, excuse me. Did it okay with Germany. We did it okay with Japan. But Middle East is a different ball of wax. We learned that with Afghanistan. We learned that with Iraq, right? So I don't know, but I'm glad those leaders are dead. The world's a better place with those guys dead. What comes afterwards, I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
Well, I tell you, those leaders would not want to be where they are right now. I tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to be where they are.
American intelligence is exquisite. They know American intelligence knows what color underwear these guys are wearing.
And yeah, you know what? That's what amazes me. Okay, so after 9/11, it took a long time, okay, to catch the people that were involved in that. Okay, they had to send a SEAL team, and it took a long time. But if you're noticing now, these people we seem to be going in the cellar and cleaning the rats out of the cellar. Okay, so we got Venezuela, we got just what happened in with the cartel, and now we got this. And supposedly, rumor has it, and you know how rumors are, that Cuba is going to be next, but who knows. But anyways, we seem to be getting the rats out, but I'm just wondering, with the technology that we have now, we know where these people are. We know the underwear that they're wearing. We know exactly where they are. So I tell you, if I was on the other side, I would be very frightened right now of the military of the United States, and I would be kissing.
There's a delay. Yeah, I know just a little bit about it. There's a delay between when they know where you're at, from when a targeter figures out where you're at, between that and when they can drop a bomb on you, because the targeter has to upload that information. Then they have to go through all kinds of analysis, like if they want to send an F-35 or an F-22 or whatever to kill you with it. They have to upload that information. Joe Schmo Habibi is at this place and we want to kill him because he's in this building. And we want to send F-22 Raptor over there to do that. They got to upload that targeting information, and then that has to go through. They've got to figure out where all the anti-air missiles are, and it takes hour or so to get that processed, and then it takes time to get that pilot over there. And so it might take an hour and 15 minutes before that information's uploaded and the pilot can be on target. And what they do, what the handlers of these Iranian targets do, is they go like they move the guy every 45 minutes. So you can know exactly where he is, but by the time you can get a pilot on target or you can get a missile on target, you've moved them, right?
Yeah,
So
that's yeah.
there's still a time delay between uploading the information, getting it through the system, right? Booting it up, getting the pilot over there, getting the clearances, doing all that stuff, and they move them, right?
Yeah, that's the old Pablo Escobar, where he never stayed at the same place for more than one night. He was always constantly on the move. Of course, old Pablo ended up on a rooftop getting shot. But yeah, I'm just I'm just excited to. I wouldn't say excited, but just very interested in seeing what lies ahead. And no matter what happens, you're going to have, because you've seen the State of the Union, which was unbelievable. And you know what was strange is that during the State of the Union, Trump knew what was going to happen, but you didn't see any sign of that. At least I didn't see any sign of that in his
I didn't vote for
character.
Trump either. You know,
Yeah,
I didn't vote for either one of them.
Yeah, so after Bible study the other night, I got out of church and we were talking, and a friend of mine has a friend of a friend has the Trump syndrome when they really freak out, and we were talking, and we were both agreed, they're only. I mean, at the end of the day, Jesus, we're not of this world. Okay, so our president, if you will, our leader is Yeshua. Okay, so that's who we put our money on. That's our,
Yeah.
and then we say, but if it's all of them are really, you got to take it all with a grain of salt. Whether it's Biden, whether it's Trump, whether it's whoever it is, but I'm just glad that, you know what, I am not going to go and start freaking out if somebody says something bad about Trump, because you know what, I'm more concerned with walking my Christian walk, trying to abide by the scripture, trying to be a good Christian, trying to spread the gospel, and then after that, trying to pay my bills, trying to be a good taxpayer, trying to be a good American. My plate is so full. I don't got enough time to be freaking out over some president, if I don't like them. Yeah.
If only we had a Batman to take care of these things.
I know, but you know what? I think that if Batman and Superman both flew in here, I think the Democrats would still bitch about it. I think they would still find something wrong.
Yeah,
about it.
Odin, you got to go over there. You got to go over there. I am Batman. You've got to go over there. That's your call.
Yeah, we're waiting on you, man. What are you doing here?
I don't see no bat signal.
I don't know why everybody says Bruce Wayne is Batman. I mean, clearly the Batman we see on here is different from the Bruce Wayne we see on here.
Well, I guess maybe the Delta Force hasn't had their bat signals broken, so they're stuck having to do it themselves.
There you go.
Yeah, I was talking about
poor
this very
guys.
subject with on Terry's channel earlier today.
What's that?
We were talking about this very topic on Terry's channel today.
What, Iran?
Yeah, Iran.
Yeah. And what do you think?
Oh, I'm against it 100%. If you're familiar with just war theory, in just war theory, there are typically 4 conditions that have to be met for a just war to be considered just. 1, the damage inflicted by an aggressor on the nation or community has to be, extremely, grave. It has to be the last resort. It can't be a situation where, something, could be resolved by some other means. it has to be done on right authority, and there has to be serious prospect of success, and also the use of arms in that nation has to be, it has to be lesser, or the result of that war has to be lesser than the evil caused by the aggressor. So, if any of the in typical Christian thinking under just war theory, if one of those conditions isn't met, then it's not a just cause for war. And I would say a lot of these conditions are not being met with this war, namely right order. Under the U.S. Constitution, Donald Trump needs Congress to declare war, but Congress didn't authorize this war. That's unconstitutional. So that would be against
Well,
right.
it's been that way for decades now, but yeah.
Well, I get that,
But
but that doesn't make it right. I mean,
It doesn't mean you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't agree with the war in Iraq, but at least in Iraq, George W. Bush went to Congress and got congressional approval before he went into Iraq. And when he went into Afghanistan, I mean, he probably had more justification to go into Afghanistan than we currently have to go into Iran. Outside of that, I mean, is this, and this is one of the things I talked about with Terry on her show today, is this the last resort? Was there really, is this really a situation where there's no other resort that could have been met for us to go to war? I don't think so. I think there were, Iran is in a really, really weak spot right now. And I think there were a lot of other ways that Iran could have been crushed as a nation. I think when you're in the situation they're in right now with all the economic instability, with all the civil unrest in the streets that you're seeing in their country, I think something like an economic sanction or influence from some of America's allies that are directly affecting Iran's economy could be enough. Even small little things like that could be enough to exploit Iran's weaknesses. One of the things Ronald Reagan did in the 80s very wisely is he took down the Soviet Union, not with bombs, not with guns, but by ultimately taking advantage of a lot of the weaknesses that the Soviets were having at that time. He saw the cultural instabilities that they were having, the financial instabilities, the social instabilities, and he leveraged all of those things to his advantage, and he was able to take down the Soviet Union without firing a single bullet. And I think it's much easier to do that with Iran today than it was with the Soviet Union in the 1980s. And that, I think, probably because of influence from Israel and other bad actors, I think because of that, I think, we're being pushed into this war, which I think is not necessary, and I think is going to lead to a lot of harm.
Now, the one thing on that I'd say with the USSR and the United States, we were like on a very expensive arms race, and even Gorbachev at the end in his book was like, man, I didn't think Reagan and U.S. could come up with the Star Wars stuff, but they would have bankrupt us, and we had to go a different direction. And the thing with Iran, this has been since the 80s, 70s actually, and they are a theocracy of a fanatic Muslim sect, and those two things, they'll starve their people before they do anything, and they'll shoot them. They'll shoot 10,000 of them in the street. They'll keep shooting them. They don't. That's where I would say that's a little bit different, but.
Well,
I think he's making the argument that the Soviet Union, the communist leaders there were more rational actors than the Iranian mullahs were, and so the just war theory might not be as effective, or sanctions might not be as effective if they're not rational actors.
So I heard today. So today there was protesting in New York about the war, and I was making something to eat. I was in the kitchen, and I heard it. I don't know the details, but they were talking about what you just mentioned about you need to have, you need to go to Congress. And I heard something, and don't quote me on this, but I heard that something about that hasn't needed to happen since the Vietnam War. That the president can act, and the person who said it named off all these numbers and all these acts, and supposedly he doesn't need to do that. I don't know. I don't know. It seems to me that you would have to get some kind of approval and not just like shoot at the hip, but I don't know. But again, it's TV, so who knows? But I think as a Christian, though, as a Christian, I always try to imagine. Okay, so what would Jesus look at this? As if he looked upon this and he's seen this, I, I would just have to say any war, at the end of the day, any war, from the very first war to tonight's war, it hurts him. It hurts to see his children killed, and war is barbaric, it's satanic, and it's horrible. No matter what excuses we use, or like World War II, hey, we needed to keep Hitler out. We needed, and then we got Vietnam. Well, maybe we shouldn't have had to do whatever war we're talking about. I think that war is the birth child of Satan, and I think that when war occurs, Satan is having a ball. He's just laughing and having a ball because he's saying, I don't need to do nothing. They're doing the work for me. The idiots are killing themselves, and I don't need to lift a finger. I can take tonight off and let the idiots do the killing for me. And so I just always think that I just wish we could live in a world to where we can have a higher thinking and we don't need to go to war. That we
Well,
can,
I would say
and
that's actually the satanic, because Jesus Christ said that there will be wars, because there will be rumors of wars, there will be wars, there'll be hungry people always, because he's allowed humans free will. And so
but it doesn't make it good, though. I know that,
I'm
but
just
it
saying that,
doesn't.
I'm just saying you look at Old Testament, and he was like, I'm ready to, he put everybody, only 8 people in a boat, and drowned everybody else. And so he hates sin more than he hates war. He hates sin more than he hates that. And other thing is the debate that just all his created humans are his children. I would push back on that, because he knows not all of them are going to accept him. Therefore, they'll never be his children. They were his created humans. But anyway, that was my couple points. I don't like war. I just put it down because, and the other thing is, Satan wants individual hearts. And so my job, our job, Proverbs guys ministry is to proclaim Jesus Christ and him crucified, and not really get bogged down in, this government, that government, our government. They're
Exactly.
all
Yeah.
led by Satan.
Yeah. We don't. I mean, I wouldn't talk. I had a sister. I had she's a Seventh Day Adventist.
Oh
and
gosh.
Oh,
yeah,
we
and
don't even
she's
want to hear that word here.
okay,
Jason,
and
never
so
say anything about those cultists. Now, only because you
well,
said
Yeah,
that. You said
I'm
that.
don't let them near the children.
but okay, so she's she's had a lot of loss in her life. So anyway, so I go over there the other day to give her, because she just lost another family member. She's all alone, and so I give her a card as a friend, and I rarely talk to her, but I feel sorry for her, so I go over there, and it just happened to be right after the Super Bowl, and so she brings up the Bad Bunny thing, and she starts supporting that. I keep my mouth shut because I don't care about it, and so then then she says, well, you know who's behind all this. And she jumps up out of bed, and it was like a demon entered her. And she started screaming at me at the top of her lungs. And I didn't say nothing. And she says, you and that, and she started using profanity, and that president of yours, is she switched from being this Christian quote unquote woman, she just went on. I've never seen, and so I've just, after that happened 3 weeks ago, but I haven't seen anybody. She jumped out of bed, got in my face, and was screaming at me. And it was like seeing a demon enter her. And it was like, oh my God, Tamara, what? So I've been praying about it, and the Lord said, you know what? Just keep your distance, pray for her. You know the old saying, hate the sin, love the sinner. Okay, well, I pray for her. But she, her son committed suicide. Her husband committed suicide.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So there is definitely something that
Serious
is
trauma.
around her. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised she's still alive. I wouldn't survive that.
Can you imagine that? And then a son, she has two sons that are in the 20s and 30s that are living with her that are drug addicts, and they are suffering through addiction. I got one of them into an opioid program, so that's good, and he's still hanging in there. The other one is pretty, so she's we're trying to, it's just it's sad. It's sad, but
There's a lot of pain.
anyway, there's a lot of pain, man. There's a lot of pain, but you know what? I seen that, and I said to myself, Lord, I'm so glad it's just me and you. I'm not married, and I don't have any kids, and like the apostles, man, none of them were married. They didn't have no kids. All thing I got to worry about is doing my ministry, doing my podcast, and just let.
Yeah, Jason, let's that is so, and you can see probably why she was biting at you. She just releasing pain. It sounds like you're probably close enough that she can be safe enough to do that with you. But I'd like to pray right now, because that, there's so many hurting people around, and we can say about, oh well, this war, whatever that war, but it's it's the people in our neighborhood, our neighbors, people at church, people at the store that are hurting. That I think is our true mission and our true desire. But Lord, I just want to lift up. It was Tamara.
Yes, Tamara.
Yeah, we'd like to lift up Tamara, Lord, that she's confessing this faith in you, and we just pray that Holy Spirit, and you'll allow people around her to remind her of the faith, remind her of Jesus and His love, because this world is not a nice place because of humans doing what they want. And we just pray for all of us to look for those folks in our lives, and if we're going through stuff, Lord, especially like arthritis, that's a horrible thing. Lord, we just lift people up suffering, that you know what's best for them. Heal them, take them home, whatever it takes for your will to be done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So how many people we got? I got to put my glasses on. So we still got
we got 5, and prepared Adventist is new today. He's invited by another friend of the ministry. And then Eastern Thomas, I can't see that. He comes on
I've run
once in a
into
while.
him a couple times on Jamie's channel.
Yep, very good. And then I am Batman. So that's who we got tonight, Jason. You and I are the bullpen for Proverbs Ministry.
Yeah, yeah. You guys,
It'd be great
if you
if
don't get
Jamie were to come on.
Yeah, he's married now because so he's too cool to hang out with us for now. Just give him time.
I'm married.
He's completely distracted with all of
Newly,
that goodness
under
and
my
newly,
elation.
newly
You
married.
know.
Yeah, I'm good. My wife's off shopping somewhere.
Oh gosh, I'm so glad, dude. I'm so glad that I am not. I mean, okay. I'm so glad that I survived my drug addiction, and that I'm clean and sober. After 30 years of drinking and drugging and rock and rolling, so I'm glad that the Lord allowed me to live through that. And I tell you, my niece is 13. She says, Uncle Jason, don't you get lonely by yourself? Because I'm not married, and I tell her, I say, Amelia, I said, I got the Holy Spirit, and she looks at me. It's like, does he come over? And I'm like, he's always around. What do you mean he come
Does
over?
he
He's
come
always
over?
there.
Living inside of
Does he
you.
bring a towel and come to the pool in the backyard?
I know. I know, man. And you know how the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit, so when I did the ministry the other day, we were laughing, me and this other woman, because she was like, God has, Elohim, he has like a sense of humor, and she was like, yeah, he seems like he does have a sense of humor,
I
and
just had this mental image of you trying to swim in the pool in the backyard and the Holy Spirit not letting you get wet. You just keep squirting the water. He's like, will you cut that out? I'm trying to cool off here.
And then I'd be like the Israelites. Then I'd be complaining like a few days later. Well, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
You get like 40 million quail in your backyard.
Oh,
Neighbors
man.
complaining. Quail poop everywhere.
I know. There could be all these, and they're complaining. I'm telling you. Oh, there's somebody at my front door. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm telling you, there will be people that will always find something that's beautiful, and they'll find some little hair and turn it upside down and complain about it. And I'm like, dude, let's be grateful for what we have. We should be grateful. Not only are we alive, so everybody here tonight on the podcast, we are all alive. None of us are in a hospital. We all got our health. I'm assuming we all got food. So that's a blessing. None of us are naked. So we got our clothing. And then the greatest thing is that we got a relationship with Jesus Christ. Dan, you know how Jason North really gets fired up about reminding us that, dude, we know Elohim. We know the Lord Most High. How many people can say that? How many people can? I look at John 15:16. John 15:16, and I get criticized sometimes the way I look at it. But when Jesus says, "I've chosen you, you don't choose me," or in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, when he said, "I knew you before you were in your mother's womb." So we are all blessed, right? All of us here tonight are. At the end of the night, man, I'm telling you, what more can you ask for? And Dan's got frogs. Dan gets hungry, he can barbecue some frogs.
Water lilies and frogs. You can come
Water
on
lilies
over.
and frogs.
I'm sure you have.
I think we are in the. My cup filleth over. My cup filleth over, man. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, we live in the best country in the world. You know, ain't no bombs dropping over us. We're set, dude. We don't gotta walk 6 miles. I told some woman the other day. She was saying, "Oh, I gotta drive 5 miles to." I said, "Do you know what they have to do in Africa? You know those women that are. It's 120 degrees. They gotta walk 6 miles one way to some well to get some disgusting water. Walk all the way back. What are you bitching for? Because you got to drive 3 miles to a Safeway. It's like, oh man. Sometimes we get very spoiled. You know, we're so spoiled as a. I know. I get spoiled
I've got
sometimes.
rheumatoid arthritis. I've got rheumatoid arthritis in a country that does not have a shortage of opioids.
Can I ask you a
Right?
personal question? Can I ask you
You
a
know what I'm
personal
saying?
question, brother?
Yeah.
Do you take any pain pills for your arthritis?
I try to avoid it.
Okay. Because my mom had arthritis,
I do
and
sometimes.
yeah. It's
Most
really
of them don't do
painful.
me much good. Yeah. Most of them don't do me much good, like Percocet and stuff like that. I could take 2 extra
Yeah.
strength and it does nothing to me. Does
Wow.
nothing to me. Yeah. I mean, like it wouldn't make my thumb numb if I sat on it. Yeah. And I
Wow,
was just born that
dude.
way. Yeah. The
Wait a
only
minute.
stuff
Wait a
that
minute.
works good on me is stuff they're not going to prescribe me, like Dilaudid. You know, they're not going to prescribe me that. You know, heroin, right? So there's other stuff that will work that you could buy over the counter. Like, for example, Kratom. The DEA is trying to get rid of that, but Kratom will the prescription painkillers don't work hardly at all on me, but they do ruin my sleep. So like I don't get REM sleep. I'm just kind of drowsy all night. But kratom, which is a plant from Southeast Asia, tastes terrible, but you have to take it in capsule form. If I take that, it kills the pain for a long time and does not ruin my sleep. And it's a lot safer than the opioids and a lot less addictive. And a lot of people use it to wean themselves off of opioid addiction too.
Yeah. Yeah. So how
So when
long
it
have
comes
you
to, yeah, go ahead.
how long have you had to suffer with this pain?
It really, I trained, well, the longest, I don't, I trained Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for about a decade before COVID. And then in the last couple years of training Jiu Jitsu, well, about 8, 9 years, not a decade. In the last couple years of it, I really noticed I was getting really fatigued and really tired. And I couldn't train it hardly at all. And then when COVID hit, obviously we're all quarantined, right? That's when I realized I had COVID. I mean, I had rheumatoid arthritis. That's what was going on. So I had it probably before, and I was training jiu-jitsu. And so, but I was diagnosed during the COVID lockdowns. And I also had to have both hips replaced. That was due to wear and tear because I was also a recreational power lifter and not bodybuilder, power lifter, which is just what's the maximum amount of weight I could bench press and squat and deadlift. And I was doing a lot more weight than God ever intended for my 5'6" frame to ever carry. Right. And God's up there in heaven going, you know, I made you a little man for a reason. I didn't make you a big man. And I didn't listen to him. And so the wear and tear on my body was pretty bad. And so I had to have both hips replaced over time. And
Holy cow.
yeah. And
Wow.
so Yeah, that was miserable. But it also alleviated a lot of the rheumatoid arthritis symptoms to where now it's mostly fatigue. And when I do get the pain meds that they do give me will tend to take care of it, or I can just do the kratom. And it's kind of like within the Adventist church, there's sort of the philosophy towards drugs is don't do drugs at all. But if you have a medical reason, then we don't care, right? Do whatever. So in other words, you should not be doing pot for recreational reasons whatsoever. But if you got cancer, then all bets are off.
Yeah,
Right? Because
yeah.
Hey,
human health
gentlemen,
and well-being,
I'm gonna hop out.
human health and well-being is more important. That's kind of their thinking.
God bless your night. Thanks for dropping by.
All right. It's always a pleasure.
See you later, Lem
Take
Batman.
care. All right. Bless you.
Take it easy, brother. So then there was 3, and I'm gonna go and get me something to eat. I hope
Yeah,
that,
you go.
brother, I hope that you continue to join us. You got a lot of insight. You got a
Yeah,
lot of
well,
insight,
I'm not man. You made a lot of mistakes.
well, it seems like we all. I tell you what, though, you look like you're in your mid-40s.
I'm 58.
Early. Yeah. So you're looking good, man. You look. You
Oh,
got.
thank you.
You look. Yeah, you look healthy, even though you're going through what you're going through. But I just, you bring another whole side to the conversation. So I just hope that you stick with us and maybe even get a podcast going, man.
Yeah, well, if I were to put the Adventist understanding of the gospel, I would say it is faith alone that saves, but the faith that saves is never found alone. In other words,
Amen on
you know
that.
that quote belongs to John Calvin, by the way, from what I understand. In other words,
Yeah.
Well
when it comes to obeying the 10, we talk about obeying the 10 commandments all the time, all 10, right? But you don't obey the 10 commandments to get saved, and you don't obey the 10 commandments to maintain your salvation. You obey the 10 commandments because you love Jesus, and it would break your heart to disappoint him. Right?
Yeah. And I got a question. Isn't also the 10 Commandments also to show us that we cannot follow them, and that we do need Jesus because we can't follow the 10? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
in Exodus, it specifically says that the 2 tables of stone are the covenant, and it specifically calls them the 10 commandments, and it specifically distinguishes between them and the rest of the law that Moses handwrote in a book and placed those. Moses put the 10 commandments inside the Ark of the Covenant, and the handwritten law stuff was in a book that Moses handwrote and put outside next to the Ark of the Covenant. And Moses called that the handwriting of ordinances that was a witness against the Hebrews. And that's what Paul was referring to in 2 Corinthians when he said, let no man judge you in new moons or Sabbath days or whatever, because these are the shadow of things to come, and these are the handwriting of ordinances that are against you. He was referring to those handwritten laws, ceremonial, what we call ceremonial laws. The Bible doesn't call them that, but he was referring to those he was quoting Deuteronomy 31 and Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8 both say that the new covenant is God taking out our heart of stone and replacing it with a heart
Yeah.
of flesh. And he writes his law, his covenant
Yeah.
on our hearts. And that
Yep.
covenant is the 10 Commandments.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the new covenant is, God writing the 10 Commandments upon our hearts.
You know, when you speak about Moses, I always feel bad for because Moses takes off, okay, and he goes up there. He's there for 40 days, and he gets the commandments. He comes down, and what does he see? Aaron, and everybody is just running amok. The poor guy, he gets mad. He breaks the commandment. Then he has to go back up there for another 40 days and come back down. And I just think that. When he was gone for 40 days and he asked Aaron, Aaron, keep an eye over, babysit the people, and the dude couldn't leave for 40 days without, it's like when your parents would leave you alone and they come back and the house is almost burnt down. So, Moses comes back and they had the golden calf. And the Bible really doesn't get into a lot of detail, but I'm sure there was some perverted sexuality going on there. It was
You know what I don't understand? First off, one of the things I don't understand is what motivated the Egyptian soldiers to go into that parted Red Sea. I would think any Egyptian officer would know a trap when he saw one, okay? Right? So this looks suspicious. All right. I would think he would no, I'm not doing this. My chariot would get a flat. I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. Okay. Right? Yeah, I'll be right there, guys. My horse. I got to reshoe my horse. Okay. Be right there, guys. But I would think after the 10 plagues and then the thunder and the lightning on Mount Sinai, I would like to think that and maybe I'm not saying I would like to think I'd be super faithful. I would like to think that I would at least be scared, pardon my language, be at least scared shitless the entire time.
Yeah, that would do it for me. That would crossing the sea alone and seeing that part, that would pretty much keep me in line. But then I always have
I'd be like, I don't know what's up there, but I'm not making it angry.
I know. I know, man. I know. That's just
because I saw what it just did to the most powerful military I've ever seen. He just crushed them.
No, they said they saw the bodies of the Egyptians on the shore. But humans. But that's the thing, man. Humans, we're our own kind of stupid.
Just after Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead, the Pharisees are like, okay, how do we kill this Jesus guy? I'm like, whoa, I'm out of this one.
I know.
That guy just raised a corpse who'd been dead for 4 days and made it alive. This is too big for me. I'm out of this.
And that reminds me of the other night we were talking about Thomas, and Jesus when he came back, and Thomas. So the whole not only did it spread to the regular Joe Blow, but it also spread to the inner circle of people who just sometimes they just didn't get it. They just, it was right, dude. How come that? That was.
And I guess the lesson is we're just as stupid, but
Yeah. I know. I know. I don't know how. Dude, we got an amazing Lord. He has had to put up. Do you know how much that man has had to put up with?
How many times has he had to slap his own forehead?
I know. And after Noah, when he said, "Oh, I made a mistake making these guys." Oh man. Oh, and then after David, he says, "You know what? I'm going to make it as simple as I can. I'm going to send
Yeah.
you Jesus. You know, how much more simpler can I make it to you, meatheads?" And still,
Yeah.
and you know, his own people. That's what brought me to tears the other day when I was talking to somebody, and I was saying, you know what? The two things that brings me to tears. When Jesus was on the cross, he said, "Forgive them, Father, for they not know what they do." And when his own people, when he was in front of Pontius Pilate, and his own people were saying, "Crucify and crucify," when no more than just a few months before, they were all lovey-dovey, do
Yeah.
miracles, they were falling through the ceiling, they were doing all this stuff, and then they turn on him. And to this
Yeah.
very day, still the Jews still aren't with him, aren't with
Yeah.
him, but they will. The you
Maybe
know
he should have
eventually.
worked with the Chinese. They probably would have been smart enough to figure it out.
Oh man, I tell you, those
You know, they'd have
Chinese,
been doing
man.
their calculus and their abacus and the piano, and they would have been smart enough to, unlike us Westerners are just stupid, they would have been like, yeah, okay, yeah, son of God, got it. Down with the program.
I know.
That's why they're in
So
all the
hey,
AP classes, you know.
yeah.
So,
All right, gentlemen. God bless you. Hey, it was good talking to you, brother. It was good talking to
yeah,
you. I'm
I
glad I
got to go
got the
too.
system. Yeah, I'm glad I got the system. So, Dan, brother, you both have a great night. And I'll be talking to you soon.
See you guys. I got to go too.
All right. God bless
All
you
right.
guys.